Cool. So what I was thinking about doing, Astro, is so the third round started today, and I was
So,
thinking we make two predictions. We make our favorite, who we think is going to win the pool, and then we also make a dark horse prediction. Uh,
oh, okay.
that
All right. I
way,
like it.
uh, because if we just actually look at tournament winners, it's been pretty consistent the past couple. Um,
Well, I
so
think the last couple ones have always had a dark horse make it to the final.
true, true, true. Yeah, yeah.
So,
You talking about yourself?
yeah. And the last one with I already forgot the name. Sorry,
I
XCX?
IX, yeah.
IXX?
IXXS, yeah.
The
Was
alphabet
it?
person.
I hope they're still playing. They were really good. They were really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I want to say the one even before that. There was somebody who we hadn't seen a lot. So I feel they usually have somebody exciting.
Mm,
Did you get the tournament bracket thing website up and running? Did you find one?
yes. One
Ooh,
second. We make sure people.
awesome website up and running. Did you find one?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, they should be able to hear us. Jexik said quiet stream, so I was curious if
Oh, I
you
can
could
just
hear
be
us.
louder.
No, 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 you're good. You're good. I unmuted
I can just
myself.
start screaming.
Opern Gangnam Style.
Oh.
So you have a soundboard?
Oh, that was not me.
That's a great.
But I did like that application error. Of course, something doesn't want to work on my computer.
So yeah, what I was thinking about doing was we first make predictions, and whoever wants to
Hmm.
join our Discord chat can of course make predictions also. One, who you think is going to win the pool. The second, dark horse pick, and then afterwards we can just watch some of the games which have finished, and then
Yeah.
if there's any other games or any other factions you're interested in seeing.
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard Aaron say that this was a great idea and he's going to provide a prize afterwards, whoever got the most right.
Aaron. Yep, yep. I heard that also
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, I know. I hope he's in the chat or two to get that because that'd be even better. Um,
It's Astro has the soundboard, or at least does a.
oh, I just have the basic Discord soundboard. I'm not the most computer savvy. I'm the person that my family turns to solve computer problems, but I'm not savvy in the least.
I should say we should do it for both, but the problem is I don't know anyone in a. I haven't been
Oh, I
watching any
mean,
games in tournament B.
oh, that makes it even more fun.
Oh yeah, we
They're
can.
basing on like player picks
Factions.
and names.
That's actually a great idea. We can do that.
Yeah, yeah. Do both of them. Audio okay for me, refresh.
Should be. Should be. I think.
Oh, look at that. I like the phone suggestion. I see the chat. Hello, chat. I'll try not to ignore you, but I'll probably forget about you. My apologies.
When you're watching games. All right, we can start with
When I'm
tournament.
watching game.
So what's the difference? Let's see. Just look at the win rates between B and A.
People have already posted wins. This just went up.
Yeah, earlier today.
All right, I was joking. I had a problem, but seriously, Dr. Doom, Shoots, Davood, I'm calling you out by name here.
You think they took
It
the day
hasn't
off?
even been 24 hours. I don't think it's been 12 hours.
Some fast players.
Oh, they're quick.
All right, for Division B, let's first go through that.
All right.
Cave Goblins having a high win rate makes a lot of sense. I'd assume
Yeah.
Wayfarers, yep. And the Wayfarers is higher actually in Division
Well, the
A.
last time I checked in on them, the Hiles were doing really well too. And
True.
that might be last turn. Oh, nope, they are in this one too.
They're also doing well here.
Yeah. No, the Division B is. I watched a couple of games when I don't think I caught the last tournament, but tournament before, so I'm a little out of it date. But I did watch some of the B games, and they're very entertaining because they don't really follow the kind of standard play style you see with A division players, where
Uh-huh.
you can see the name and you can kind of an idea that Aaron's never going to throw a card into the bin.
Yeah.
Massimo's probably going to throw everything in the bin kind of deal. But you don't know what's going to happen. They are pretty fun. I would definitely recommend people check them out if they can.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think like you said,
Swampworks at 75.
I
Damn.
would not expect that. I'm curious.
That's a surprise.
It's low win rate. I mean low pick rate though. But yeah, still. Uh,
Yeah, I think everything's kind of lower when I was tallying them up.
how many people from the last round made it to? 'Cause someone was trying to
Oh, I don't
calculate.
know.
There's 3 groups last time. Oh, there's only one group here, so it must have been the top
Oh, wow,
three.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
one.
so then the top two will go. Wow, yeah, it was much smaller group. The Division A has maybe a little too many people, but yeah, Division B was much smaller this time around.
Yeah, I like it when top 3 go to the final round. Top 2 can
Yeah,
sometimes get to
it's very
RNG.
cut. Well,
Yeah,
it's top two from in the semifinals to make it to the finals, so it's just you're
true.
doing the semifinals over again.
I would
It's
love like
it's a little
something.
stressful.
Yeah,
Um,
uh, as you've experienced. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would love them to have like a playoff bracket, like a Tortugatron does eventually, if they have the resources to,
Mm,
like a
yeah, that'd be fun.
upper bracket, lower bracket. Just duke it out. See who really
Yeah,
is uh, I guess
the
who
true
chose the best
champion.
decks. Yeah, and who's playing the
Mhm.
best.
I
um,
reckon there's some names in here in the Division B. We got TYT. I've seen TYT. I think I've played TYT. 1, 2, 3. Real Llama,
yep.
Bato. Um, Sleepy Sekhmet. Spoilers. I'm not going to pick them for going on just based on names. Sorry.
Because of the name.
Yeah, no Crimson Order is moving. And they did pick Crimson Order. At least they're on brand. I have to call it Cell. Cell is named after the Shadow Elves, and I never see him play the Shadow Elves. That's that's not working for me.
um, yeah, Shadows. What are their win rate actually in this? Let's see. Uh, where are they? Oh, 54% win rate. Okay, actually pretty
Oh,
high.
it's not too bad. Actually, that's not too far off A, if I'm
Yeah, I think A
remembering
is very
correctly.
similar. What is A win rate for Shadow Elves?
58. Okay, so 4 points.
Mm-mm-mm. That makes sense a lot. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I'd assume just because there's
Hmm.
people who are more comfortable. Yeah, the one which is interesting, like you said, is High Elves actually being so high in Division B. Even though it
Yeah,
is slow sample size, I would not expect such a hard deck. Like Eternal Council being 28% makes complete sense to me.
yeah. Or
uh,
Fungal Dwarves if they were low. Oh no, they're So I think like with these high complexity decks, like 1 or 2 people who actually sit and learn them will go and take them, and
true.
so you don't have many players, so you have a very small sample, and then they're facing against people who might not see them at all because Fungal Dwarves never show up in the public queue or High Elves. I don't think I've seen a High Elf player in the wild since their release. So
True. I only see
then they,
DQI. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't run into GQ. I don't know what his time zone is.
Mm. Phoenix Elves 41. I would expect that to be higher. Buff Phoenix Elves.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah, Phoenix Elves suck. We can go lower. Actually, we're so D. 40, perfect. Shout out to Eden. 40%. Check that out. Right where they belong.
uh, Wayfarers being 50-50 is interesting. I'd assume them to be higher just because they are pretty easy deck to pilot.
I'm really curious to see how this tournament finishes because I might do a post. I'm surprised the Wayfarers are doing as well as they are.
Mm.
They've had quite the jump. But I do, after the tournaments, kind of a ranking of all the factions with their general overall results. And if the Wayfarers keep at like 65% or something stupid, they're going to jump really high in my rankings. So it's interesting. This has been a fascinating tournament.
Agreed. Yeah, the interesting thing about Wayfarers is nothing's changed about that. I was showing that yesterday to chat. That
Oh yeah.
they've not changed ever, but their win rate before last year was 40% in every single tournament. It was like 3 tournaments in a row. They're like, 40, 45, and like, 43%, like doing not the best. And then all of a sudden, when frogs became meta, they jumped to like 60% or like 58%. And now they're at
Yeah.
60%. So maybe it's just like the decks people are choosing are just very like it's either people are getting better at Wayfarers or the decks which are meta are just Wayfarers does well against them or has a good shot against them.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I'll maybe look back and see who picked them, who they're facing, do a bit of a deep dive on what exactly happened there. Because yeah, I always felt their 40% was a bit lower than expected. Because I didn't think they're that bad. I mean, I picked them. But to go from like 40, low 40s consistently up to 65 was a bigger jump than I was expecting.
Agreed. It's a pretty, especially because they're very high. It's not like it's a low sample size. Like a lot of people are playing them. They're just
Oh
doing
yeah.
very well.
I know. I was looking at my total wins and like I was lower down when early on in the tournament because they just had so many wins. I was they were bumping up my stats more than I liked. I thought I was getting in with a low picked faction. Hello,
Done with the
hello.
Wayfarers. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Jexic.
Hey, Jack's like,
Hey.
you heard the Wayfarers and you knew you had to come in.
No, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I did that great with the Wayfarers this tournament. I was actually bringing down their 50% record.
Oh, I wasn't helping with it either. So there's other people carrying us.
There's people out there doing very well with them.
Yeah, I think I did best with Savannah Elves. I think I went 3-1 with them in my
You're
two.
Savannah Elf player.
I was, yeah. I mean, I also picked Cave Goblins and Obsidian Dwarves, which I know you don't like Obsidian Dwarves, but
Well, no, but that's on brand for you, so I can see that. I did watch your drafting video, or listen to, I guess, podcast.
oh yeah, the one where I took Volcanic Blast for #1 pick.
Yeah. So, I mean, then I had to vote for Aaron. I think I voted for Aaron. Or was that the one where I voted for Beans? No, I think I voted for Aaron. I think Beans threw it at the end by picking up Axe. Yeah, I think I voted for Aaron.
But yeah, I'm excited for well, one of my what's it called? My oh, the word is escaping me. My mentees is in group B, and they made it to the final group.
Oh, see, expert advice. You're a great teacher. Who's your mentee? If you can say, I don't know if there's a NDA on this sort of thing.
I don't think so.
Can we talk about mentees?
I think you're able
I know
to.
I've outed a bunch of mine, so.
But Psyduck, not yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, and his spoilers already posted a win, so look at that. And it's
Damn.
with the Fae.
Damn.
I'm expecting you. I assume you just gave him an expert rundown of how the Fae work.
Well, we mostly talked about Cave Goblins because that's a deck that he was playing in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do see he's got a Cave Goblin versus Filth matchup, and I haven't played it. Curious to know, or pick your thoughts on that. Who does it favor, and what's the best approach for it?
Oh, I mean, the thing about I think I've played that one a couple times myself, and it seems kind of tough just because I'm trying to. There was like not bursting, spew. Spew is very annoying because like spew can just,
One shot
kill
everything.
Cave Goblins all day.
Yeah.
And there's spew in this game already.
Do you want me to stream for you guys, or do you guys have it just open yourself?
I have it open and I just muted your stream, so I think that'll work for me.
Okay.
I
I'll just
can
go
open it then. Yeah.
I'll stream it here
I can
also,
do that.
just so you guys are
Oh,
more
perfect.
more in sync. Yeah, like you said, Astro, I have no idea how this matchup should go.
I was thinking about it because going into my second round of that awful bracket, and I had 5 Cave Goblins facing me. I was like, hopefully I get them on my fill because I think they're the only deck I took that would have a decent chance. But I hadn't played it, so it's just like, what do I do? Pick spew and then just try to win. So it's reassuring to know that my plan would have been at least very annoying.
For the Cave Goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. No, Filth are doing really well because
Yeah.
you guys and multiple other people have said, it's just a very versatile faction. You can play it, passive. You can play it aggro. Usually decks which have multiple different play styles just do well in general.
And
Yeah.
spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I heard they're doing well in the general data too.
Ooh.
Oh, like the oh yeah, because you had that podcast.
So you know the answer to all our questions right now, Jackson.
Yeah.
Just that question.
Oh.
Joe didn't have very many answers to questions, but he had an answer to that question. And Filth are currently doing better than every other faction. So
Shout out to Erie. Driving up those numbers. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see the Filth lose some of their buffs because I think this tournament just kind of had the ones from the prior one slapped onto it and wasn't given much consideration. But they have been performing probably more than they necessarily need the extra bump up. So I wouldn't be surprised if when the next tournament comes around, if maybe Red only has +1 health, or maybe Gold Dust has +1 health, or maybe lose all of them.
Eden says he'll check the NDA. I just noticed that now.
In the chat.
And then never followed up.
Do you want to do predictions with us, Jexic, for
Yeah.
so the idea is that for tournament B and tournament A, we would do who you think is going to win the pool, and then also a dark horse pick, so 2 picks. And so we'll start with division B, and we could just do it just based off if you know the name or if you just the factions they pick. Like for example, Psyduck looks good. Wayfarers, Fae,
Right.
Phoenix Elves, and Sand Goblins. That sounds amazing for Division B. That sounds like the maybe replace Phoenix Elves with Crimson Order, and I think that'd be like the dream.
That's true.
I think I recognize the name Real Llama. I think that's the person who does all those cool graphs.
Mm.
Yeah. I recognize Real Llama as well. Does he do the graphs? I know he's in the Discord. He might do the graphs. I don't want to like steal his thunder. If you do the graphs, you do a great job. If you don't do the graphs, I apologize to who does.
I think you're right, Jexic. He's the guy who showed just how broken frogs were before the nerf.
Yeah. But so I'm guessing there's going to be 2 winners from this pool, and then they'll face each other off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, are we just going to like pick 2 or?
Yeah, just pick 2. I'll write them down. Let me get a piece of paper, and then
all right,
we can make fun of each other.
We have a very high-tech setup here.
I feel like I faced Botto and not done great against them, so I would actually make that one of my 2 picks.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like also Storm Goblins are probably really good in Division B.
I mean, I won't make you do both your picks right away unless you want to. I'll go with TYT 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Then we have...
They've got good factions.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Crimson or Shadow of Swamp Orcs. This is like a Division A. I'm pretty sure these are the factions like a lot of people in Division A. Have you guys also noticed? And we'll see this when we go to the previous faction. The faction, like the strength of the faction, is very much correlated. Like the overall strength of your faction is very much correlated with how well you do. Like if you look at Pool 1 or Round 3, like the average score is well above 100 in terms of like the FW score or like total wins for your factions. Which makes sense. Look, stronger decks are better.
Well, but like Wayfarers were one of that. Well, maybe Wayfarers is really strong. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll sort out the data.
Exactly.
We'll get Real Llama on the case. Real Llama, if you're listening, crunch all those games. Get back to us.
All right. For my first pick, I will choose Botto just because I like his name or their name.
I like it.
All right,
or is this a
Shadow
draft?
Storm Breakers and Cloaks?
It doesn't have to be a
I'm
draft.
I'm gonna back Psyduck.
Psyduck, okay.
Yeah.
I think they would be angry if you didn't choose them. For, All right, Astro.
I know. I'm torn between Real Llama and Lionel. I think I'll give it to Real Llama.
Okay. Real Llama. And I will choose Sleepy just because you don't like the name Astro.
Oh, Sekhmet. No.
And also their factions are great.
If they're just Sleepy, I'd be behind you because that's a spirit word I can get behind.
I think that's one of the names that comes just randomly because I've seen other people with names that like Bookish Hollius originally I think was just a name that just appears.
Oh, interesting.
If
Really?
If you don't put a name in, somehow I think you just get assigned like adjective.
I did not know that.
Character.
I've been having some weird like adjective and champion name this entire time.
Yeah.
I
noticed
thought
other
Bookish Hollis was just a big Phoenix Elf fan.
No.
I hate them. I can't stand the faction.
They're a Wayfarers player. Or he's a
fair
Wayfarers
enough.
player.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But All right, so my second, I'll go ahead and pick Botto, like I said, because I the name sounds familiar in my games, so I think that's
Mm.
Okay.
remember them being decent, and they pick cool factions. So
Yeah.
Sounds good.
even though even though I'm the biggest fan of Storm Goblins, but I think like you guys said, they might be good in Division B.
Yeah, I think it's hard to. Probably, I'm curious if Joe or the team had like a graph of how well Sand Goblins or Storm Goblins did over time. Like with their release, they probably just were destroying everything, and then slowly, as people realized how to play against them, just lower and
Well,
lower.
the funny thing about Storm Goblins is I just never see them. Like usually during a release, that is the
Yeah,
period where people play.
they definitely fell off. It seems like.
I think I might have run into no, because the last Storm Goblin game I played was Ice Filth, so that was after their release. I don't think I saw them at all during the release. Who they pair with?
Faye.
Hey, yeah, I don't think I saw them at all. I don't know. It seemed to me like nobody was playing them
The
from the
funny
jump.
the funny thing is that not man, it's not funny, but like it's the one that Colby and like the internal Plaid Hat guys. I remember them saying they really liked playing Storm Goblins. They're expecting them to be really popular, and then people were like, eh.
That people just did not.
I think they're a very clever design, and
Yeah.
I like Circuit and I like what it does. I just kind of wish there were other ways that it worked. Like I wish it was more stuff. I wish it was more stuff like Wind Mage where you like lock stuff into place instead of just like using the circuit to jump wherever you want. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, right.
I think
That's interesting.
I think I think it might have been cool if it was more like that kind of stuff, like Wind Mage, kind of like, you know, using wind to push stuff around and get them into the circuit rather than just like the circuit being made
Right.
for you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so maybe in deck building, I could make a Storm Goblins deck I would enjoy. But I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Storm
Um,
Goblins. I feel like Storm Goblins is kind of like Wayfarers, where mattering the meta, they probably just do really well. If the meta is bad for them, they're not going to do the best. Um, just
yeah,
mattering what decks
they have,
people choose. Like if Fungal
they have
Dwarves
so,
all of a sudden becomes meta, Storm Goblins are going to be so good.
yeah. It's like the stuff they're good against is unpopular, like you were just saying, or maybe some of
Well,
the stuff they're good against, like fungal dwarves. Yeah,
I would assume they're good against the Crimson Order too, and they're the most picked faction like 3 tournaments running.
that's true.
Yeah,
All right,
sometimes.
so now,
Sorry, going.
oh no, I was just gonna say we're gonna look at this Division A stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Sometimes this. I agree with you, Astro, but sometimes it's just like I think one of the reasons Cave Goblins win rate is so low right now has nothing to do with Cave Goblins, but for some reason the algorithm allowed for, I think it was like 6 Cave Goblins versus Crimson Order games. Like the amount of just like they met their counter so many times, it just tanks the
Yeah.
win rate.
I had one of those
Yeah.
How many were
in
there?
round.
I was surprised because I did a quick search of it. I think
Oh.
after the first round, and there were like, there was like 6, but they won like half of them. I was like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah, I think Chucky won one of them. I
Yeah.
lost mine, I think, but
Yeah, there's 10 different games. Like, how's that possible? Just like
I know.
the worst
Yeah,
matchup
it was
possible.
crazy. It's crazy.
But yeah, we can go to Division A. So I guess the main difference between the two, just in terms of win rates, is Cave Goblins is way down as you'd expect. Um, Deeper
Hmm.
Grokes is up, which is interesting. I guess Grokes is kind of a harder faction ever since the nerf, also, because like it's like 25% win rate in Division B, but also very low very low pick rate.
Right. Yeah.
Eternal Council is up, which we expect. Fallen Kingdom, I honestly, maybe this is just my recency bias. I think the buff to Gul'das or whatever the champion's name is
Hmm.
actually like so broken. Like,
I think people still don't know to play him though because they're so
yeah,
used to not playing the champs. So
Yeah,
that's a good point.
but it is very strong. Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose, if not half of it, all of it.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think yeah, Fallen Kingdom is just like a small buff away from being like S tier or like at least strong A tier in
yeah,
live. I think.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Go on.
no, I was gonna say someone asked a question recently of like if you could buff one faction, nerf one faction, and rework one faction, what would it be? And my answer for rework is Fallen Kingdom because
You can't
I
see.
don't know. I don't like the way that their events function like at all. Like
Hmm.
that they don't seem to work as anyone would think on their first reading of the card. So yeah.
Yeah, they are a bit unintuitive.
So like the way Purge works and the way Blood Summon works, like I don't think anyone who played at home would know to play the cards the way they're played online. And I think
Oh,
that's a big
That's a
a
great
big
point.
speaking of which,
issue.
because I actually played a game today and I had an interaction come up. I was like, I honestly have no idea how this works. And since you're the resident Fate expert, I need to ask. So Corrales, I summoned. I can take the booze now. But so his ability works when you attack an enemy card, you can then push it. But if he destroys it, can he still move afterwards? Or is that reliant on him pushing the unit or the card in front of him first before he can be forced forward?
You might be asking a question no one knows because no one
Wait,
has that information.
No one plays Corrals. Okay.
what was
Yeah.
it? What was the question about Corral? Sorry, I was getting distracted by Eden saying that FK had the best design deck, period, and he believes it.
Yeah, I actually don't hate FK's design, but so with Corrales, when he attacks a card in front of him, he can push it back and then fill the space that it was in. But if he attacks and destroys the card, can he still fill the space, or is he just kind of stuck where he is?
Why don't we read the card? Yeah, let's bring it up, Chairs. Yeah. After this unit attacks enemy card, you may force that card one space to your opponent's back roll. Then you may, yeah, you could probably still because they seem like separate sentences. So I would think you could shift Corrales afterwards, even if you destroy the card.
Astro, the answer is yes.
Yes? Oh, okay. Thank you. I played it wrong, but thank you. Good to know.
Did the beast show up just to say that?
Yeah,
Yes.
just cracker.
He has a Final Fantasy raid tonight, so he can't join us for too long.
But yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure, so I just erred on the side of caution, but good to know. Not that I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
that.
they're separate clauses, so yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, I will thank Beast for what's the word? Motivating me to try the Fae and for losing. So appreciate it.
I feel like the Fae have to get a buff also. I'm not sure if that's... you don't have to tell us. Don't spoil your podcast, Jexic, but if there's one faction which needs a buff...
Yeah, if I were to actually answer that question, because I did give a response, I probably would buff the Fae.
Because I feel like it has to be something minor. Because they have like... So
They're
many
very
things going on.
close.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the things I'd like to do with the Fae, I don't think they'll do, so it's just too bad. You know, like they should have a champion in their starting setup that's also a gate. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Oh.
sick, yeah. That'd be sick.
Interesting. And it can move?
Yeah. That's my like one card fix is have a third deep water sister that starts in the deck in the starting setup, and
Get
like
rid of
you can summon stuff next to her. I think that'd be cool.
Interesting.
Get rid of an
But-
oracle.
Yeah.
I feel like it
I
could
don't
be...
know. Those oracles are absolutely trash. I summoned 3 of them. I regretted all 3 of them.
Yeah, the oracles are so bad.
They're
So
terrible.
bad.
But are we
Beast,
gonna
come back at some point in time. Teach me how to play the Fae.
do we want to look at what's
Division
it
A?
called?
Division A. We're
we can do
easily sidetracked, but that's all right.
Okay.
How many pools? Oh, there's only 2 pools, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it shouldn't be too bad.
All right.
These are all good players, though. Damn it.
Yeah, no, when you get to the last 2 pools, it's always just amazing players. So for pool 1, we have Doctor Doom, which is most likely, we hypothesize that is, what's his name in Discord?
AMYK.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Amicus.
Formerly Hans 1, etc.
Hans one.
Yeah, he plays the
Okay.
same
Yeah.
Eternal Council. He's an Eternal Council player, so they all match up. There's only very
Okay.
few Eternal Council players, and Hans 1 was one of them, so I'm assuming
All
it's
about. All about Shrez.
Shoots, an amazing player. Played
Shoots is
multiple
very
times.
good. Beat me in the
Davud-
live league. I will never forget.
Davud, also amazing player, has won
Davud's
Maximus
very
League
good.
once. Aaron,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
no introduction for Aaron. One of the best.
All right, I'm not voting for Aaron. He beat me in the last round. He's not getting a vote for me. I hold grudges.
Bradolf, I haven't played much, but he has won a tournament before, a Plat Hat tournament before. He won.
Bradolf, I think, defeated or eliminated me in the first tournament I played. He's a very good player, and he also clearly old because he played in the first tournament I was in. So I know him
I
as a
think,
Sky Spear Avian player.
Interesting.
yeah, he played that for the what's it called? The Tournament of
5 league?
Champions at least once or twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he won.
Although I think
So
my vote for this is going to be Snalg, because Snalg hasn't won a big tournament from Plaid Hat yet, and I
That's
like his
true.
factions.
And
I,
Snock's been around forever.
Yeah, he did really well in first edition, and he's also one of the players that if you happen to come across him at the right time, he plays very quickly. But it's kind of hidden by the fact that his time zone's different than like everybody else's. So
Oh, okay. But isn't he a Vanguard player? I don't see Vanguard in here.
I mean he's probably more known for Eternal Council
That's
these
true.
days, but yeah.
Fair enough. And
He's
then
good.
we got Ciabatta.
we got Chibata. Yep.
The all I ever see him is plays Fun Elves. I'm surprised he doesn't have Force of Elves here. I didn't know he could pick something else up.
Chibata is one of the best players in the world. If only he has the time to play his games. He's the player I've seen time out the most. Like every time I'm playing him in not a Plat Hat, but in the Tortugatron, there's like a 50-50 shot. He's too busy and times out.
Mm.
I played him in the deck building, and I thought I had this really clever like checkmate on him, only to forget that it was deck building, and he had one of those weird like summon off your summoner cards, and he killed me, and I was so annoyed afterwards. Like, oh right, you don't have a normal deck.
I think that's why I can never do deck building. Deck building is just a whole nother like your brain just explodes
I
every time.
tried it because Jexic was telling it hard. It's like, you know what? I trust Jexic's word. He's a good guy. I went in, and Jexic just like destroyed me with I think it was his Brub deck, and I was like, oh well, you know. I
Sounds
think I
like
had
fun.
basically Sarah. That was a terrible deck that couldn't do anything.
I mean I don't know. I could probably talk at length about deck building, but I think a lot of stuff is pretty viable. And I think we just don't have enough players trying it out to figure out what's viable, you know.
I would like to see it grow. It's not for me. Having played a couple more deck building games, right? I recognize it's not my strength, but I would like to. There's a number of people that are quite interested. You'll see them pop up in the Discord, and yeah, it would be great to have just more people come into it. And I hope they run another tournament because they usually do one after they start
Yeah, I
one,
think
right?
it sounds like that's the plan after this one's over, I think.
Oh, good.
Speaking of a deck builder, Oliver out of nowhere, one of my group, did very well. He's a really good player in general, but I was trying to look through his medals. He just played in the one deck to rule them all, so a
Mm.
tournament, which is a custom deck tournament. But yeah, he won my group, which was like crazy because if you look at my group, you'd expect like what Massimo, DQI,
Oh, you had
G-Man,
like
Thor's
a
L.
group of death.
Exactly.
What is
My group was just our Ender's BT, which was a finalist at
Yeah.
one point. Like all great
Yep. No,
players,
very
but
strong.
Oliver topped the pool.
Yeah, I
So
was
Dark
surprised because
Horse.
I'd never heard of him. And if
Yeah,
he's a deck builder, that would explain it. So yeah, he's yeah,
having played him
interesting.
twice, he's very econ driven. Like he
Mm.
plays Fallen Kingdoms. Like if you play Davood
Hmm.
Fallen Kingdoms, you know you're gonna get comboed, and you have to like prepare to get comboed, but you still
Yeah,
will get comboed.
yeah.
Versus Oliver is very much he loves the econ with carriers and really trying to get as much value as
Uh,
possible. Um,
Interesting.
I've only played his Fallen Kingdom, so I don't know his other decks, and I haven't really watched any of his other games. But um, I'm sure based off how conservatively he plays Fallen Kingdoms, besides probably Cave Goblins, he plays everything else
Yeah, I was
conservative.
gonna say interestingly enough, he's got a cave goblin in there too.
Well, it was interesting because I didn't recognize him, so I loaded up a game the other night after the stream, and unfortunately, it was the Vanguard game versus Fall Kingdom versus Anders, so I just fell asleep during it. But it looked like he was doing a very good job.
Yeah, no, he
And
definitely.
then like
So go on.
yeah. No, I was saying pool 2 looks pretty crazy too. Because I know that
Oh,
like
one more Jackson before Mr.
sure,
Plaid.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Mr.
sorry.
Plaid,
Mr.
love the
Plaid.
name. I assume he's Colby in disguise. You
I
won't
agree.
convince me otherwise.
No, Colby wouldn't get to the last group. Colby has an
Yeah,
account. Colby has an account.
that's
And
true. That's true.
He got a
if
medal if you beat
anybody-
him. Sorry.
No, that's it. Yeah. But this Looks like this person mostly plays Mountain Vargath.
Exactly. Which is,
Yet they didn't. Oh, they did pick them. Okay, yeah.
they
They
picked
also picked Fae. You know, Fae players.
I'm curious. I'm sure
Jeez, you should have been
Astro.
repping them.
I'm sure Astro will look at this later and decide and look at like what were the most picked decks of the top pools. But
Oh yeah, I do need to do that. I usually do these semifinals.
because it'd be interesting. Because my suspicion is there's a lot of filth, but it could be. I haven't actually looked at it.
Great name for a faction.
All right. So Jexic, you already chose Snag. Do you want to choose? So two people. So I was gonna do one like you think is gonna win and one dark horse from each pool. And then Astro, you also.
All right, I'll start off with my dark horse. It's got to be Oliver.
Oliver. Okay. That's a good dark horse.
I mean, I don't know if this would really be a dark horse since he's pretty well known, but I'll give Aaron the shout out.
Sounds good. Makes sense. He would you'd have a very hard time on your next podcast if you didn't.
I don't know that he's gonna listen to this, but we'll see.
Yeah, we can make fun of him all we want. He won't be here. We're good. We're in the clear.
Then for me, my first one will be. It's not really a dark horse, but I'll put Davoud. Davoud is when he's on form, he's on form. Davoud's so
He
good.
seems to always get really close and then just never quite gets over the finish line.
Yep.
And you know, sometimes you just need that one lucky break.
Agreed. Okay. Astro, do you have another one? Who do you think is going to win the pool, just based off?
Yeah, I think
names?
I've got to go with Shoots.
Shoots is really good. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Shoots. He didn't pick the Crimson Order, so you know, got to cross Doctor Doom off the list right there. But you know, he's pretty strong. I know we've got a bit of the spoilers going on, and he's got a bit of a rough start, but you know, I think he'll pull through.
I think this is one of these pools though where people are so close together that I'm sure everyone else is going to have at least one loss. So I'm not too worried about that for Shoots. I think last time from pool one it was a 4-way 5-3 tiebreaker to get XIX.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Wow. Okay.
So I think it's gonna be very similar this time.
Yeah, these are all top players, so I could see. Yeah, I could see them splitting a lot of games.
If I had to choose I agree with you, Jexic. I think Aaron, from having played a few of these people, I think Aaron right now makes the most sense for me to choose as the overall tournament winner. But who knows, you know? I'm rooting for. There's no one who I'm not rooting for. Let's say it that way. As long as it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'm here for the good games.
Exactly. It's more about the games than the player.
Yeah.
And
I
there's no more
noticed
frauds.
Eden has not posted any predictions in the chat,
Oh, true.
so
You
you know,
missed.
really dropping the ball here, Eden.
Anyone else who wants to in chat can, of course. We will. I'll try to think of a prize for whoever gets the right two people, or at least one of the two people in the finals, in Division A or Division B.
They'll
that'd be
get a
fun.
shout out on the Discord, and I heard Eden will make them a special emoticon.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
so
Like
get
they
your
get to
predictions
choose.
then, people.
Yep. I like that. Yeah, we should do that'd be fun. Do like a fantasy style bracket for the final two pools.
Yeah,
Winner gets to make an like you said, an emote in the Discord, or make a portrait, or get to choose which next card is a portrait worthy. Wait, is it all cards? I guess it's all cards. Okay. I haven't changed my portrait in forever, so I don't know.
I haven't changed mine in a while either.
I changed mine for the filth because you know I had to, but
I think the first one I used for a while was the Rogue from Wayfarers because that was the season Wayfarers came out.
I think my favorite has to go to the Changeling Swarm because it's not until I saw somebody with a portrait that I saw the smiley faces on the jellyfish. And it sold me on them. But you know, the biter's pretty amazing too.
All right, pool one or pool two. Pool two has like so many big names.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, because Vexer and Shampoo, like
They're
practice
IRL
with each
friends.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they practice with each other. It's a shame that they're in the same group. They can't face off each other in the final.
Wait,
That'd be fun.
People practice?
For yeah, for usually for Vexers or not Vexers, Massimo's League. Practice partners.
So clever. I just gotta go blind and hope for the best.
Gotta get that championship. So
That's true.
we have Prophet, who needs no intro. I think people always put Prophet, top 3 players probably playing the game currently, in any order.
hmm
And he's playing. So he always chooses a different. So he chose the Filth, which makes sense. I remember he was in your podcast, Jexic, and he always said that he played
Likes picking one new faction. Yeah.
every single time. Yeah. Um,
I was thinking, Reese, that might be a good thing for newer players to do too. Like if you're relatively new but wanting to like pick a faction to main for a little while, like pick one of the 2 new ones because you're gonna be just as good with them as anybody else.
Yeah.
that's a good
You
point.
know?
It was when I noticed Prophet doing that I kind of adopted the same strategy of going into a tournament and at least taking one of the new ones. It's like, oh, if it works for Prophet, why not?
Oh, definitely. And then yeah, like you said, it's a good way of learning new factions
hmm
and seeing other people play it. Shampoo again, who he's been around for a
Great player.
while.
Yeah.
Amazing player. He plays a lot with Fuzzy and Vexer, like you said. Yeah, great
Yeah, I
player.
think they started the league together, if I remember the
I
legends of old.
see. I see. I thought they knew each other in real life, but makes sense. It makes more sense. Um, it would be cool if there's like a friend group who all started together in the league. I've tried to get my friends into Summoner Wars. It works to a certain extent, but I think it requires a certain type of player to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like random pockets of people who know each other, like some of the Polish and German players, and then like Davud is Bean's real friend,
Mm-hmm.
and they both made it into the last 2 groups here.
They're both amazing players.
Yeah.
Vexer, again, no introduction needed. Top 3 player or top 5 player. You can put Prophet, Vexer, OL.
Yeah.
Has yeah, great player. Currently top of the leaderboard with 1,700 rating. I'm not sure how the hell you get that much rating, but is doing very well for
I don't know. I can only imagine the amount of games they're playing.
No, it's not. He doesn't play that many.
Oh,
He
really?
just doesn't lose very many either.
He
Like
just wins everything.
yeah, and then he stops because I
Oh,
think
but then
he's
you get to a certain point where you're only getting like 5 points per win.
well. That's the thing. He wasn't playing very much before the tournament. That's when he stopped for like a good month probably and wasn't playing any games.
Right.
I just noticed that because like his ELO didn't change at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it went up again with the tournament. So yeah.
Well, I kind of do that myself because I struggle to find time to get games in. So the tournament kind of kicked my ass, and then I lost like 100 ELO to that loss with Aaron. So if people see me with the filth in the open queue, you can thank Aaron for that.
Ace guy. I don't know too much about them, but I've seen their name before. Or are they a new
Yeah, I've seen
player?
him in the Discord, and I think he usually shows up in the tournaments.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I've seen. I think, like you said, I think I've seen him in the final group a few times.
Yeah.
At least his name, or their name. Um, yeah. Cool. Psych, who's been around for a while. Also, I love playing against Psych. He's he has his own play style. When you play Psych, you're gonna get a Psych game. I always love players
I
like that.
did indeed.
Yeah, with your cave goblins or his cave goblins versus your swamp
Yeah,
orcs.
I got 2 of them.
Great player. Wart, again, another player I've seen, I've never played against.
Yep, same.
I've
but-
played against them quite a bit, but that shouldn't surprise anyone, I guess.
What do you? I've never played them. What type of style do they have, Jexic?
They're real solid. I think I've played against their high elves quite a bit, and yeah, they're just a good player. I think they've been in I think they played high elves for the faction masters.
Mm,
So
Oh, okay.
they've been high in some of the the individual faction leaderboards.
mm, interesting. Then they have Anders BT. He was in the semifinals once. He's the only player who's played Obsidian Dwarves, which has like an absurdly low win rate. They have they have a 34% win rate. My God. Only Faye has a slightly higher, but yeah,
Good.
they're the lowest by far. They play really quickly, having played them recently. And they play some fun factions. Anyone who plays OD and TO makes the final group. I'm a fan of. Just go for the dice. Random dice variants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are playing for the people.
Exactly. It's the people's factions. Then we have I'm very biasly very pro Bean. Bean, my friend, who's I love that he always picks cave goblins, even though cave goblins kind of suck, but they they always pick him, and they do well. They made the final pool, I think, how many tournaments? Because there's a medal for that.
Yeah, I think he's just usually pulling the cave golems in.
Yeah, he's usually usually the only representation. Now we have Oliver also, but normally it's just Bean representing the cave goblins, doing well. And then Chim4 MP, who I don't know too well. Either of you guys know Chim4?
No.
But they have a high rating.
They might be. I feel like they might have been in the live league, but I'm not sure.
They're very new. They only started really season 4, it looks like. Yeah, they started season 4, so relatively new.
Wow.
Very happy to see new players.
Yeah.
Doing well. Champ. Alrighty. Let's first do who do you guys think is gonna win, and then we'll do dark horse afterwards in this group.
Okay.
Just like right off the bat, like just not even thinking. You see these names, who's gonna win?
I mean, I can go. Vexer. I'm just gonna go Vexer. It's not an exciting pick, but
Jexic?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of leaning towards Vexer as well.
Okay. I'll be slightly different. I'll do Prophet. No, that's not different. I think it's between those two, definitely, in terms of name recognition, at least recently. All right, now dark horses. Who is your dark horse for this group?
I mean, I kind of want to go with Shampoo because he hasn't lost yet this tournament. So yeah.
oh,
Really
have
good.
the Cinderella run.
Mm-hmm. All right, Astro, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah. Actually, I'm leaning towards Shampoo myself. It's his time. I think. He's put in the work. He's got the skill. Yeah. I think he's a good dark horse. We're gonna have a very boring agreement here, but yeah, I'll put Shampoo as my second.
All right, I'll be very biased. I'm gonna go Bean just because he's playing Cave Goblins and he's my friend, so I'll go Bean easily. But yeah, like I said, any of these players who make the finals, I'll be very happy, because it's a hard group. Whoever makes it definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these are tough groups. I mean, I thought last round was tough, so
Yeah, I'm not sad to have skipped this pool. This would have been an incredibly stressful and mentally draining fight. So good luck. Good luck to everyone.
Shampoo took the buffed vanguards. I don't see too many of those up here.
Prophet has Vanguard.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it. I think there's a couple more Fallen Kingdom when I was scanning it.
Yeah, I think there's more.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, there's
They're
Oliver also took Vanguards.
Oh, there we go.
I think Shampoo has the funniest live league 1-2 I've ever seen last season. This is when before frogs were nerfed. He had literally Vanguards, which is the worst faction ever. And if you follow him, if you also have Vanguards, then his next backup faction was frogs, which is hilarious. Like the worst faction followed by the best faction back then.
Yeah.
It's good.
I liked it so much. I followed suit when I did the live league, and I did OD with the frogs, and I ended up actually having to play the frogs in one of my matches. So.
Thank God, frogs. It could be. I'm curious, like you said, Jexic, to see what the actual win rate is of Filth this season. But even if they're like 70% win rate, I would still think that frogs were more broken last season. Like I much rather see filth currently than frogs last season. Like frogs were just so oppressive.
Yeah, frogs are tough. And well, at least like 2 seasons ago, they were just played so much towards the end.
Mm.
Like if you played anything, like the season they came out, like towards the end of the season, if you played anything but frogs, you'd be facing frogs. And I randomed them a couple times, and people would like DM me and be like, "Hey, dude, I didn't know you were one of those frog players too."
You get the.
Yeah, I didn't play a lot of Open Queue during that time, so I missed the Frogpocalypse. But I don't know, they seem to also have fallen off before even the nerf came out. But maybe there was an early announcement that nerf was coming, so people just kind of stopped picking them.
Mm.
Not sure.
I think, and maybe part of it was just sort of like like it was the beginning of a new season, so people were trying different things and weren't as intent on increasing their rating.
Could have been. I
Yeah.
was the Filthy Frog picker this tournament, and actually I did pretty well with them. They're the only faction that I won all my games with, so I think from my early impressions, the nerf is fair.
Mhm.
Though I think Radio Traffic might disagree because he had a tough time with his Fallen Kingdom against them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I like about it is that it definitely seems like it's more thinky than it was before, which is interesting by nerf. Like I think you have to think a lot
Yeah,
more.
it ended up kind of being closer to my natural play style. So I think I kind of meshed with the nerf a lot better than maybe other people who were playing them prior.
Mm.
But they're kind of, well, they've always been a bit defensive. I think prior to the nerf you could play them aggressive, but people were really abusing like sitting back, where as now you sort of have to do it. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I kind of enjoy them. I had a good experience running them.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I like them currently in their current form. Should we watch some games? I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to don't look. Oh, so the other interesting thing, like I said, is just how high. Like it makes sense, but I guess just in general, if you want to do well in a tournament, it really does seem like you need to pick good factions. Like how many of these the FWs in the 200s, right? Like compared to other groups, like we look at these and there's like one which is in the 200s versus like, or maybe one or two, versus if you look at the final group, it really does seem like the factions you pick do matter in terms of how successful you are, which makes sense.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to that consistency because you are playing so many games. So, I mean, we've got a couple of low 100s.
And
So
like,
Plaid.
well, and Olivier, and
Yep.
also Andrews BT has a pretty
Yeah.
low one.
Yeah, 130 is
OD
the
and
right lowest.
MVATO, Fallen Kingdom. So, I still lean towards just picking what you like, because if you do go late, you're stuck with those factions for 2 months, 3 months, whatever. But yeah, if you want to increase your chances, probably picking one of the.
I'm curious what my
Whatever.
faction win was. I haven't looked at the
Who did you
tournament in a
pick?
while.
Let's see.
I picked Cave Goblins, Wayfarers,
You're in the
SE.
middle.
Yeah.
But I think most likely Wayfarers and SC bring you up, and then Savannah, and then OD and Cave Goblins bring you down.
Okay, so I was at 161. Yeah, it's kind of the middle there.
Middle-ish.
Yeah, it's because like Astro was saying, Wayfarers had won a lot of games, so that brought it up. And people in chat were saying they feel like they're seeing more Wayfarers. And I wonder if that's partially my fault because I actually did well with them in the live league, or what.
Well, you've been dominating the live league. You've just been destroying people left, right, and center.
Until this season, I didn't. Spoiler alert: I did not win this season.
I was following a bit of the chatter on that one, but do we play each other in the live league?
I don't think we have yet. No, because well, you played Wayfarers, because we would have had to play our second.
I did play Wayfarers. I vaguely, I want to say I faced against you and you were OD, or was that a different?
No, that was a different event because I've been Wayfarers the whole time. Although
okay.
I'm gonna try Eternal Council next season.
Oh.
Well, because my thought was like I'll keep playing Wayfarers until I lose, and then I lost. So
you got to keep up to it. But I'm surprised, EC. I don't think I would have immediately associated with EC.
Yeah, I played them a bit. I've been top 10 a couple times with them, but
Okay.
and I do enjoy them. I think, and also I think the fact that like you can't really rewind much in 45-minute anyway, so it just kind of forces me to play them, you know.
Oh, okay, and that's a good point. Yeah.
But and
I
they yeah.
Yeah, I did them in a live scuffle, a summoner scuffle once, and the one thing I did regret about that, because those were 45-minute timers, is that at least for a streaming perspective, you spent a lot of time just sitting there imagining the board, because as you said, you can't rewind. So whatever my
Yeah,
turn played about, it's just like nothing was happening for
the
5 minutes.
first 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and then the play just happens. But yeah, that you do have a good point that you don't have a lot of wiggle room there.
All right, should we watch Doctor Doom versus Shoots?
Yeah.
Just so I can.
Oh, what's the matchup?
It should be I think it's Filth versus Storm Goblins.
Okay.
Should be an interesting
That's
matchup. No idea how this
yeah,
goes.
I'm doing that in an open queue game right now.
I feel like Filth, if they know how to play against Storm Goblins, should have an advantage because Filth don't need to clump up. Basically, is the main thing. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the one thing, so I played this when the Filth first released. It was like one of the first matchups I got into. It was like, oh, I haven't faced against the Storm Goblins. I ran forward, blew up, and like, okay, well, don't do that against this faction. This time around, yeah, I'm trying to keep my stuff spaced a little more, but it is a bit of a trick because you're trying to keep everything within the 3 range of demagogues so you can still get the boost. But that said, I'm like swimming in boost, and I don't even think I played the Bestial Mutant yet.
The one thing I wonder with the Storm Goblins is if there's times where you like shouldn't play or you shouldn't do lightning touch as often as you do. You know what I mean? Like just
Mm,
like just there, I saw that he kind of had the tentacle mutant backed up, and if he didn't lightning touch, they wouldn't have been able to advance. You know, like.
mhm.
Yeah,
But
just give them the
I don't know.
magic.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a great Storm Goblins player though, so I wouldn't know really. But it's just something I've been thinking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they.
go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say they look really neat, and I really want to sink my teeth into them and kind of peel back this faction because they do intrigue me. I just haven't played them, so.
I feel like you like the Mastro, like Beast said yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think Beast is right. They really seem really finicky and weird, and I think maybe it was Beast even said that they're kind of like a pseudo econ deck in disguise. I'm just like, all right, well,
Yeah, they're
I'm
very
willing
Yeah,
to.
goblin-y in that sense. Go on,
I
Checker.
do like the goblins. Yeah. Except for the cave goblins. We need 2 more goblins so I could take an all goblin suite to the next tournament. I'm
I
not a
was
big fan of cave goblins.
I was realizing you could take an all elf team and it would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the elf
I was
faction.
really hoping early on to take an all dwarf team, but then Obsidian Dwarves kind of quashed that.
Maybe in the future.
In the future, we need 5 dwarves now, 5 goblins.
We only
Though
have 2 orcs, but I like both the orcs. Yeah,
I was going to say you've got Colby's ear. Get more orc factions out. We only have 2.
I've joked about wanting that timber orc faction.
I've seen it. I'd be behind it. Get them in the plaid shirts and things.
Yeah,
It'd be perfect.
I think if they wanted to buff uh, Storm Goblins, which I don't think they will because there's no reason to. The major buff to do is just make it so that goddamn kite riders don't hurt themselves with their lightning strike. Like I
Uh,
there's so many
yeah.
games where I just do not want to attack with my kite rider because I'm afraid it's gonna break the chain or it's gonna destroy. My summoner will be exposed if I roll a special.
right.
Um, and yeah, I think it hurting himself is funny, but at the same time, it hurts
So
the
I just started
faction.
watching this. Do you think watching it again? Do you think we're gonna see a bomb this turn? Is
I
Doctor Doom built to 7?
Yeah. Nope.
I think if they had it, they would, just because
Yeah.
if
I don't know. I don't know if it's really the best setup for a bomb right there. I like to get Abomination down when I've got a bit more to support him because he's only going to be hitting for 2 damage on the first turn, so he wouldn't be getting killed in this setup. And then you don't want him just eating a whole bunch of damage on the retaliation because he kind of becomes useless.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. That's a good point. This is a nice play by Shoots. It's getting a nice chain. I feel like having played Storm Golems a lot, usually against good players, you need like 2 good chains. If you can get like 2, overcharged chains on their summoner and clear, 2 units, usually you win. But if you're
Yeah.
unable to get those giant chains, it becomes hard.
All right, as the resident Storm Goblin expert, which I've just elected you as, I'm curious about it. It's not really relevant to this matchup, but Storm Goblin versus Chosen Grove.
Uh-huh. It
How's it
actually,
go?
Storm Goblins kind of wins just because you just play
Really?
very econ. Yeah.
I
You
was
play
curious because it is 20 health you need to chew through, and they almost seem like they're an assassin-y kind of faction.
I think it's 20 health, but it's stationary. I think that's the main reason why Storm Goblins is favored. If it wasn't
Okay.
stationary, it would be, you just lose instantly. But because you can always guarantee, unless like it's maybe the tech as Chosen Grove is just to like 3 gates around you and then you win, you know. But as Storm Goblins, you just always try to get tree inside the chain and you do well. Also because like you're always summoning units around you, I guess that's the other disadvantage. Like normally for
Right.
other factions, summoning around
Well,
you is a
but
good thing.
they often
Yeah.
throw the gate in front of them too. But I
Yeah,
guess
but
you can reach around it fairly easily.
no, exactly. And for Storm Goblins, like uh, usually, like you said, with tree, usually units are within 2 spaces, just based off the minimum movement. And
Mm,
Storm Goblins love that. Like they hate when things are 3 or 4 spaces away because you have to use more, resources to hit the summoner.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
We do have some people asking about kite riders. Mostly, they're shocked that you summon them.
Yeah, kite riders
Uh,
are like need to fill the chain in, and you're out of vault swappers.
yeah, I think there's the fact that they can move 3 is helpful.
Mm. Yeah, and
And
3 is.
over stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is a shoots. This is something Shoots does more than I do. He loves the witch. Uh, don't shock the witch, just attack.
Oh, and then get the damage on the retaliation, so you get 2 turns from them.
Exactly, yeah. Because usually if you shock the witch, like 3 health, a lot of factions can deal with versus 4 is a little bit. You usually have
Yeah,
to use 2 attacks for that.
I love Bestial so much. What a good mutant.
Bestial so good.
So discharge only works on commons, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess that'd be really crazy if it just like blew up your MIDI tree or something.
This is a nice play by Shoots. He's able to get a ton of damage. If he had overcharge, this would be an amazing play. But
So you have to
Seems like
say
he still
one.
hasn't driven one. Yeah. Or drawn one.
Yeah, he's kind of been out of luck on that front. One of the things that does excite me about the Storm Golems is that all of their champions are for cost.
yeah, they're amazing, and all of them are very viable.
They look really strong. Like it gives more first edition Sand Goblins than second edition Sand Goblins give.
Mm.
Because the first edition had incredibly strong champions for really cheap. Now they did have downside, which none of these ones do, but these ones are constantly getting zapped by Thrak, so it's kind of in the same sphere.
Assuming Shoots used Bile Lightning, or did they not? I'm assuming they did. Okay.
14 boost. Holy moly.
Yeah, Demigog. You hate seeing this.
That is more boost than I've ever seen on Demagogue before. Like what are you saving those up for, Hans?
I guess you haven't seen the deck building loophole.
Oh no. I have to know now, but
So there's if you have Devura or Volcor and a Blood Shaman from the dark, from the fungal dwarves, you can
oh no
pass
way.
you can pass boosts around and just make Demagogue really huge.
Oh,
What
what?
mad scientist came up with that?
That's
The
Who
first
amazing.
discovered that
the
insanity?
first person I knew who do it was Game Bear, who's like Cheez-Its real life friend.
Mm.
Uh, That is
But
absurd.
and it originally was bugged so that it would actually create infinite boosts right away because you could do them one at a time when you transfer. So Joe fixed the bug, but now if you like move 4 boosts over, they both get 4 boosts, and it's still very good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the way I thought it would work was still very good. I didn't realize it would just give you infinite on the
It,
initial
it,
implementation.
it originally gave infinite boost, so you could like, and the fact that you're in the filth means you could then get like 15 magic every turn by just recycling all your mutants during your magic phase. It was crazy, but again, you need to have Volcor or Devora out and a Blood
Yeah,
Shaman, so
right.
it had a lot of setup.
And
But
in
once
deck
you,
building, that could be your Achilles heel.
yeah, if you need that much setup, someone's gonna kill you first. But
So this is more of a format I like for the Abomination. You've already got some units down there that the opponent's going to want to clear out. They can't really focus on him without sacrificing, not killing those anointed, and you've got him right up in the face. So and with 12, Hans, spend your boost, buddy. There's no prize for ending with the most boost in the game.
Yeah,
yeah,
just to
sorry
gain
for that
magic.
sidebar.
I like this play by Shoots. This is like kind of you're losing. Let's go all in.
Oh, there's the overcharge. Yeah, get away from Abomination, because I have won games against the Filth where Abomination hits table and you just ignore him. Like sometimes you can't just blow him up or do enough to send him scampering, but he does have such a long wind up that if you can close it out quick, it might not even matter.
Yeah, I feel like Abomination is a unit that Storm Goblins would struggle to deal with
Hmm.
because they tend not to do a lot of burst damage to one target.
Yeah.
That's kind of why they struggle with Wayfarers too, because like if Celeste gets in your face, like you're in trouble. So
Pew.
So this is the crucial turn. Basically, if Storm Goblins doesn't win the next turn, they are done. They are done. But I think, I think it looks like they have one more turn, unless
well, looks like
Demigod gets four.
they just put Tentacle on the Abomination, so this is probably over.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's
No,
definitely.
1 for 3.
Uh,
Oh, never mind.
tragic. Let's see. What Shoots? If they didn't hit that, let's see. Does Shoots have
The
the
shoot have the
potential win?
kill.
Let's see. So let's go to the end of this turn, I guess.
Well, you can do 2 auto with the overcharge.
2, 3.
I'm just trying to see how much.
Because you're gonna have the witch attack.
Yeah, because I'd give you 4.
You could do some potentially. No, you can't do that actually. I was gonna say you could do some cute play attacking your witch, but I'm not sure if you have the position for that.
Okay.
So here it is. Let's see. Nope. So there is a kill shot next turn, I guess. With 4, you would have a chain. No, it's not possible because basically the chain would have to include the witch. The only way it would be possible is if the witch is attackable by one of your units.
Yeah.
And it's not possible.
Alright.
So.
Oh,
I should get going.
you could
But,
exit.
Sorry.
Oh,
no.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for showing
Thanks.
up.
Yeah, it was fun. Sorry about that, but yeah, I
No
got things.
worries.
Yeah.
We'll keep you. We'll see how your predictions do, Jexic. We'll.
Yeah.
Could get back to me in a couple weeks.
Exactly. We'll
Like
force you.
Jude will have the results. Yeah.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
All right. See you,
Later.
Jexic.
Right.
See ya.
I don't know, because exit Ezek is the one that can like pull your summoner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there a way to like pull him over into that corner and get the witch in, and then be able to get Ezek and the witch to be able to attack Demagogue?
Good point.
Or maybe the inverse.
I just don't see how you do that without a chain, because you need a chain for the extra 2. I guess you could do like let's go for a 6. You could do the. You're right. The play would then be to go for a 6 for 7, where you have the witch attack and you'd have either Isaac or the champion attack. You're right, or Thrak attack. So yeah, you could do. You have a kill shot with that, and what is that? Let's see. SW zone, a 6 for 7 ranged. I'm assuming it's like 20%.
You really needed a Volt Swapper.
Exactly. Vault Swapper would guarantee it almost, I think. Let's see. 7 bow. Yeah, 26%.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you had a Volt Swapper, it would be much higher. It would be what? You'd have 7 plus 1.
And you'd have the chain, so he'd be down to 4.
Yeah, oh, sorry. It'd be 4 plus 1. Yeah, so this would be a coin
Yeah,
flip.
52.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have to know, at what point do you take the kill shot? What's your threshold?
For Storm Goblins?
Oh, just yeah,
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
sure, Storm Goblins or
You mean
any in
percentage?
general. Yeah.
Um, we talked about this last season. Yeah, I think against good players, it's 75% chance. Uh,
17.
like if it's an all in, like I lose if I whiff this. I'd say
Mm-hmm.
75%, 80% would probably be it.
Okay.
Against players, I think I'm equal to or have more experience than. I'd probably say 90%. Um,
Mm.
if it's a live game, 50-50. If it's no, sorry, if it's a public queue game, it's 50-50. But yeah, I think that's from. How about you?
Yeah, that kind of lines up. With really strong players, yeah, I'll go down to even 60. I often try to read the match tempo, and if I try to predict if I'll be able to sneak in another better shot later, depending on the con and how things are going. But yeah, if it's a good one, if it's like against Prophet or Vexer, if I got a coin flip, I'll take the coin flip. Otherwise, like if I'm in a strong position or I think I've got I don't have the pressure to make it, I'm only taking it at like 90, even 80 is just kind of like I might just go for some chip damage and some better board control.
Yeah, after that. No,
But I'm very cautious, so
mm, you do play. I think to be honest, when I think about the best players, usually they play cautious, but also have the versatility of comboing or aggro. Um,
yeah. The one thing I notice when I compare my play to like the top players like Prophet and Massimo and that is that they are willing to go for the longer shot options. I oftentimes, if it doesn't mean like the game's going to be over, like they'll throw a 4-for-4 ranged attack against something. Um, I won't. I just like look at 4-for-4 as an impossibility. It's just not happening. And so they're a little more willing to trust in the dice, I think, as Eden would say. But yeah, that's probably the one space I could improve more on. Yeah,
no,
Hargrada, you're right. You do miss every shot you don't take. You're not
agreed.
wrong. In
Agreed.
that case, I miss a lot of shots, but you also miss a lot of shots you do take. So
This sounds like the dating advice my friends would give me back in middle school. No, but I agree, Hagrada. Sometimes you just have to go for it. I
yeah.
think I talked to Prophet about this actually a couple of months ago, and he was very similar to what you said, uh, Astro, where he was basically saying that, like, what are your odds of winning this game, right? If it's like over or
Hmm.
under, if you think you have like a 50% chance of winning this game, go for the 50-50 versus, like if you think you're, 90% favored, why would you go for the 50-50? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a skill and something like you said, I can definitely learn from
It
other
is
players.
really hard. Like it's definitely another one of the skills I'm trying to develop because it is hard to predict how well the match is going. And like sometimes in the Fisk, I don't know how to pronounce his name, matchup where it was the Cave Golems versus Swamp Orcs, and I was a little ahead on Econ, and I thought maybe I could position a better board state later, and it wasn't until after like I didn't take the shot that I was just kind of like I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought I had this chance. I think I just like looked at the resources available and was like, oh, it's not that bad. But yeah, it is definitely hard, and it's one that I'm struggling to develop.
Yeah, it's very matchup dependent. And also, look, sometimes the dice even out, right? Like someone's up hitting 90%, and then by the end of the game, they're 75% because, they just whiff everything else afterwards, you
Yeah.
know? So it's
Yeah.
sometimes you feel like you're ahead, but it's just the dice are going to even out, or the matchup is actually like some like polar dwarves. I feel like are one of those factions where when I see polar dwarves have 5 cards left, is actually not as scary usually as like a their faction,
Mm,
or storm goblins is another one because like a lot of them might be volt swappers, which all what might be used in one turn. Um,
that's
so it
true.
matters. Uh,
Who's up
okay.
next?
Up next, we'll watch Shadow Elves versus Mounting Vargath. Um, and
Oh,
so
okay.
I was very happy Mounting Vargath. They still are 50-50. I'm happy with that. Perfectly balanced, the most
The
balanced faction.
perfect deck. If anybody
Exactly.
asks what the best deck is, Mountain Vargat. Perfectly balanced in all ways. I play them. I don't main them by any stretch of imagination. I play them very rarely, but they're an interesting deck. I don't hate them. I don't love them, but I don't know. There's a lot going on there than it looks, but you can also just kind of play them without having to worry too much about all the higher level stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I think they're a faction which you can sort of. They'd be a good faction to like introduce someone maybe they're a little bit too advanced, but like the second faction, someone who's new should play. Um,
Yeah.
where they're very formation based, like you said, but they also have a lot of tricks. Um,
Hmm.
my problem with them currently, and why I'm debating whether because I've brought them to the last 2 tournaments. A reason I would not bring them to the next tournament, a downside, is that they're very starting hand and going first or second dependent. Where there's some factions
Mm.
where if they go first versus you, it feels impossible. um,
Right.
like they get your gate spot, like your forward gate spot, and you just feel like you're going downhill. And no matter how well you play, you just feel like uh, you're not playing well, and just because of the first round. Um,
The one thing, and once again, I'm a neophyte when it comes to the faction, but the one thing that reason I never like really sunk my teeth into them was I found I was looking for Varn so much. So Varn was in like the bottom 5 cards. It felt like a very different deck that I was playing. So
yeah,
I don't know if that was just like me with being new and just loving Varn. I think Varn's one of the best champions in the game, and putting way too much emphasis on him. But that was just my personal feeling.
I can definitely see that. Varn is, I think, like you said, if you can get Varn early, like Hagrada said, second turn Varn is just like so good.
Yeah.
Versus like if it's one of your last cards, it's still good, but you can't use it as well. Um,
Yeah, when you don't have as many things you can be tossing around.
exactly. I do think the other 2 champions of Mount Vargath are underrated, where both like in certain matchups, like if you're especially against like a clumping faction, Quinn can do so much work. At
Oh,
last that game,
I was
so
watching a game last night from this tournament. Who was it against? And yeah, I think it was a Prophet game, maybe. Did Prophet bring Mount
no,
Varga?
I don't
Oh,
think so. Maybe it's OL.
could have been OL. Could have been Massimo for all I know. One of the big names, had them, and I'm trying to think who they're against, but they did drop Quen,
Oh,
and I was,
zero.
oh, oh no.
Go on. Sorry.
They dropped Quen and they had Varn out earlier, and Varn was like, I don't know, down to 2 life or something, but they just kept like using Varn to pull Quen back. God, it was against Fallen Kingdom, and there was so many like so much value he got from Quen. He rolled a lot of specials too, whoever it was. But there wasn't much clumping up. But just being able to like abuse the fact that Mountain or the Fallen Kingdom have terrible range game, and just keep pulling back and keeping Quen. I think Quen survived the entire game, or at the very least survived the vast majority of it. I was really surprised.
Yeah, no. Quinn can do work. I think it'll be interesting. I think Quinn would be like must play if it was like one magic less and maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 health less or something like that.
On
Um,
release, I know it's a little hard on Quen. I was also a little hard on the Glory Caller, which I've come around to. They're much better than I originally thought. But yeah, no, I think Quinn's got some use. I don't think Quinn is quite deserves the rep she has currently.
mm,
And Torden's fun, but Torden's just way too expensive. I don't know how you build up to 8 magic with this deck.
Torin, I feel like is the perfect example of what 8 Magic champions should be, where it's like most games you will never get that, but the games you
Mm.
do, it feels worth it. Like against Crimson Order, is a game Like Torden is so good versus Crimson Order, and you're able
Right.
to get it, and you can build towards it. I guess is the best way to put it. But looks like Varn's going down here. Quinn or Tez? I like Quinn way more than Tez, but you're the Wayfarer's expert, Astro. You can tell me which one you.
Well, I hate Tess. So, take quite anything. Now, to be fair, my dislike of Tess comes from the fact that a couple of times I summoned her and she went like 0 for 3 or 1 for 3 over 3 turns. She lost literally in a tournament game against Beast Slumbers, his Polar Dwarves, and she lost a brawl with a single Frost Mage. It was embarrassing.
No.
So like I was just like, Tess, you're never seeing the board again. I have pulled her out since then. I've definitely gotten better use of her in later games. But that match still hangs in my memory. Tess, I think the biggest struggle with her I find is that she requires having a bit more setup. So Quen, you just I mean, having Varn to pull her back is great, but she's just there to shoot. Like, you don't really need to do anything tricky. Whereas with Tess, if you want to get the best value from her, you do need to be playing something with your structures. So if you already have deep structures, her value kind of diminishes. If you just can't get her to pair with your waypoints, that just due to timing and draw, she's a little less effective. And running around with her for 3 ranged it's a little underwhelming. But she's fun if you can pull off the crazy tricks. So I can see why people enjoy them. Ooh, down to 2 health. This is looking
This is a
real.
close one, yeah.
It's so close, but unless he's got a stronghold, I don't know. This got to be a stronghold play. Did he played 1 already?
I think he's played. Let's see. Actually, no. If I do it, it'll spoil. So I'm not gonna spoil.
Fair.
The problem here is like, if there's one faction I want my summoner, the other summoner, to be like 2 or 1 health, it's either Shadow Elves or it's Storm Goblins. And Shadow Elves, like, being below 3 health or 3 health or lower is just like, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh no! If you is against Shadow Elves, if you're 7 health, you're in the kill zone. Like
True.
you are in the danger zone. In my finals against Vexer, I lost on the first turn, quite literally. To be fair, I didn't think my turn through. I took it literally as is running out the door because I had to return a rental car. So I was just like, this looks fine, right? And I played it. That I went. He went 6 for 6 against me, dropped me to 7. I was like, oh, he could just like one shot me at any point now. So I had to play a Muglug back, which is not what you want to do in that matchup. But when I was learning the Shadow Elves, yeah, once you get into 7 health or less, you can easily just blow up. So at 1 or 2, yeah, you're salivating as Shadow Elves. Like, you need nothing to take them out.
True.
So I mean, if you get your Ranger up there and they go 1 for 2, you're a little sad. But it just takes a Shadow Pulse.
A question for you, Astro. When you have a kill shot, do you go the kill shot first, or do you do all the other attacks and then the kill shot afterwards?
I do the kill shot first. I don't know. In my warped sense of honor and mind, I think that's the most like respectful way to do it. Not withdraw. Yeah, it doesn't really make any difference. But the only asterisk I'll put on that is, how am I getting the kill shot if it's a heavy like range shot? Just because I believe I get more melee on my first roll than later, I might delay a like range attack. But usually I go for the kill shot first.
Okay. Makes sense.
I know, like, statistically speaking, your odds are the same no matter when you take it. But superstitiously speaking, I go for it first. Yeah. You?
Yeah, I go for it first usually. Same thing, where it's just like, I feel like it's a BM. So can you get this with no, it's 3, so you'd not be able to get this. So Shadow Elves is actually relatively safe because they have 9 magic, but potentially in 2 turns. Unless they have a Glory Collar.
Oh, for the Torden drop.
Yep.
Yeah, a Glory Collar.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the glory! All right,
my
the
God,
3
yeah,
for 3.
do
Let's
it.
see.
I mean,
The Shadows
we
have
kind of know the results of this, but yeah, that is the way to do it.
Yeah, but was tragic.
Tragic.
Missed
I
the
mean,
coin flip.
he can't dislodge Torden though. He has to get the kill shot on his turn then, because he's dead.
Against Shadow Elves. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, like Samira.
Oh, yeah.
Samira never played, but still such a good champion. Like I feel like if Samira was in another deck outside of Shadow Elves, you'd see it like way more
It is
often.
funny, yeah, because Lucian is also a really great champion, but it's in the Shadow Elves deck, so you just barely see her. When I play, it took me a while to learn Shadow Elves. They're
Mhm.
definitely a tricky one to for me to pick up. But one of the things I noticed when I was learning them is that I just automatically pitch my champions. I don't see much reason for keeping them. They aren't bad, unless it's Talia, but we'll save that rant for another day. Um, but I don't know, the rest of the deck is just so strong, and you do have a fair amount of magic pressure for your economy, and you do want to be spending it. And I just don't see a lot of room for the champions unless it's to, get those kill shots. Um, but yeah, even Lucian, so good, such a good champion.
Yeah, Lucian is like you said, in any other deck, I feel like you'd play it so much more. But just because the commons are so good in Shadow Elves, you feel like you should never.
Yeah,
It's hard to play the
yeah, you
champions.
just can never really fit them in. Oh, here we go,
This is
my
interesting.
boys, the Groaks, the frogs. Let's do it.
Oh no, they go second. All right, if
GG.
it's
Forfeit. Move on.
forfeit
I did
exactly.
win his game. I went second. I think I went second against my Cave Goblin player. I managed to pull out the win. Um,
That's an interesting matchup. I feel like Groaks versus Cave Goblins might be a good matchup. Good league
Crooks
matchup.
at Tina. You're not wrong, Hagrata. You need buffs. We need to get Alice in here to go over their starting
Strength and
setup.
weakness. Yeah, allies.
Yeah, he'd be able to fill an hour on it.
Oh, this is
Is
a short
Alice?
game.
Oh, no, that's Beast.
This is. See, I don't understand Mountain Vargath, where you just have these games where you just win in like 2 turns, and there's other games, grind it out. Other games, you
I
just
don't.
weird format.
I yeah, I have not played them enough. I have not sat down and really learned them.
You can win in 2 turns as Mountain Varga?
This
Uh,
this game is short. It's a
Oh.
short one.
there's a
How'd the
so
raid go?
It's not done yet.
Oh,
It's in a bit. Yeah.
gotcha.
you can turn one. So it's one of those
Frogs
matchups
here.
against Cave Goblins. Both factions, if they go turn
Oh.
one, can one shot the gate. Basically, is the turn one victory or the turn two victory.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
With the right
Oh, I think
hand,
I saw
it's good.
Bean's game where he did that. It was
Yep.
so dirty. Beans, come on now.
I feel like if
Did-
you lose that way to Cave Goblins, you're just happy. You're like, you're like, I can't even be mad at this
Oh, if they
loss.
blow up my gate, I expect them to blow up my gate. So I've got a lot of experience against the cave goblins. My sister loves them, plays the little gremlins constantly. I don't play them well, but I play against them fairly well. And yeah, I just I don't expect to hold on to my gates. You have to fight for them. It's one of the few decks where you are brawling in order to keep that thing alive, which I really
Is this
appreciate. I like that there's the variety in decks.
a ramming follow-up?
I'm assuming because they lose this turn. Yeah, it must be a.
Yeah, ramming
Yep.
advance. I will say playing
There they
against
will.
the goats, I never know, like, do you play around ramming advance? I feel like you have to, but it like
You
gets so
have to.
rarely played. You're like at a disadvantage constantly trying to. Oh, no way.
This is a 4 for 4 4 for 4 forfeit. No, 2 for. I guess at this point it's like unless you draw a gate,
Yeah.
you're like this
Yeah,
game's
because they're
over.
right up in your
Over.
face. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's nowhere you can go.
Hmm.
Skipper.
No, they miss it. Yep.
Oof.
I'd rage leave this also.
Would have swung with a warrior. Strong potted.
The 4 for 4. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you stay. Maybe you stay.
Takes
Nice
it too. I see.
position. It's such a 3 for the win.
It must be. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Stall shot. Oh, that's a cool play. What a sick play by Davood.
Oh, that's clever.
That's
Well
fun.
done, Davood. I
Fun
like
play.
it. I like it.
Nice.
Ah, cute. Yep.
Nice play by Dawood.
Well done.
All right. What's the next one? Do you want to Beast? Do you want to get into this or group winner and then a dark horse for each group, or do you want to abstain?
Oh boy.
You have to do it for Div B also if you choose to do it. You
For
can choose a random.
Div B. All right. Yeah, that's a tough one. Anyone that's got SF has got my vote. So.
Okay, we'll do the 2S.
Oh, I see.
Hey.
I see. Psyduck has it,
Yep.
and Psyduck is top of group. Yeah, I vote for them.
Yeah.
Okay,
There we
Psyduck.
go.
Who else? Who's down there? Oh, are we doing Dark Horse for this too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Unless Psyduck is your dark horse.
Dark
One to know.
Horse. Who's got miserable factions here? I see Breakers, Cave Goblins in one. There's Fungal Dwarves. Not so vegan or friendly, but then again, this is round 3. I take it these guys are more experienced at it.
Mhm.
Toughie. That is a real toughie. I would have to say Calphi is Dark Horse for me here, because
Okay.
Fallen Kingdom,
Okay.
Fungal Dwarves, Storm Goblins. I don't
I
know
like it.
why. I really think that Storm Goblins is a strong faction, and even though people say that they have some auto lose matchups, they have a game to play. It's just it's a harder game when people spread out,
Mhm.
but they still, if you don't take out their witches, there's a game to play.
Agreed. I think Storm Goblin is also one of those factions where we need more people playing them because there's probably some tricks no one has figured out yet. Which is
Yeah, and
good.
there's also weaknesses that no one has figured out yet. Like I think Vexor was the first to well, the first that I've heard say it out loud in public is that they don't have a lot of range in their deck. So once you take out their witches, all that's left of them is what, Volt Swappers and
Mhm.
Kite Riders and Striders. Lord help you if you're advanced with just that. That's kind of spooky with big hits on Thrak. So yeah, well, so that's that for this pool, I think, right? I pick
Yep.
one and then the Dark Horse one. Okay.
Yep. And then we'll go to Div A.
Oh, that's it for Div B. It's only one pool.
It's only one
Yeah.
pool, yeah. So the top two probably
Can you
make
imagine
No.
if people can you imagine if people game the system and just stayed Div B like
the entire time.
all
Are
time
you
just so
calling
they
out
could
real llama? Are you just not saying his name?
No, I'm
Let's
just
prank
saying
him.
if people game the system and stay
Prank him.
Div B the whole time, just win like that. So this one's interesting. This one's very interesting.
Mhm.
I saw the matchups earlier, and yeah, you guys know who I'm gonna vote for here. It's got to be my man after my own heart, Mr. Plaid.
Mr. Plaid.
That's
Okay.
Dark Horse right there.
Yep. Fey
Sounds
player.
good.
Oh no, he doesn't. Does he have the Fey? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
And then no thought taken if you just had
no thought taken. Winner. It's probably Aaron or Shibata.
mm,
Shibata's my boy.
Hmm.
Honestly, but if I had a thought, then it would be Snog.
okay.
Snog's
Okay.
got yeah, he's got some of those explosive moments.
That was Jexic's pick.
Hmm.
Oh,
Mhm.
Snog? Oh. Hmm.
Jexic thoughts
Great minds.
Snog
Yeah. It's determined. There you go, Snog. You're the winner. Congratulations. Between finals.
Congratulations. Pack it up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Everybody pack it up.
Pool 2. I'm actually partial to some of the names here. Champ is a fantastic player.
They're
I've played
newish, right?
Champ. Yeah, newish. But definitely very solid fundamentals for sure.
Mhm.
Loss here maybe says rough around the edges, but it's a loss against Prophet. His Shadow Elves piloting in that game. I actually watched it. It was that creative finish that Line was alluding to in
Interesting.
chat.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
we'll load it up next time.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cool game. But no, Champ's fundamentals are solid. If I had a dark horse, it would actually probably be Champ. But I know for a long time, Anders BT. I'm a big lurker in the forums and in the games. Anders BT has been a name that I've seen from a long time back. So just watching their games and seeing the development there and skill is something to behold. So if not Champ, then Anders is actually my dark horse.
Okay. And who's
Then
you're
for
thinking?
top, oh boy, it's my man Beans though.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry, dude.
Ah, there you go. All right.
You no no no
Rule
no
two,
no
pick it up.
no no no. I didn't get the PayPal, so sorry, Beans. It's either well, flip a coin. Do you like vanilla or chocolate? It's Prophet or Vexer. It's like you can't go wrong with that. But if I
Yeah.
had to choose one, Vexer is a bit more battle tested in my opinion,
Hmm,
because he's just always out there grinding games. So I'd say Vexer.
okay.
But Prophet is also battle tested, but always just at a high level. Never really see him out in the wild.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, he says he plays mostly in the beginning and then he stops for just tournaments. So that makes
mm,
sense. Versus Vexer
yeah,
just loves the game, just plays
that's true.
a lot.
For the love of the game.
Yep.
Not cool. All right, we have a good bracket, and like I said, anyone else who wants to contribute, maybe I make a Discord post also, and we can have a fun.
Yep.
No one gets.
Yep. Jack said before he left swore he would add a prize pool to this. So yeah.
Eden and Jexic, yeah, for your
Yep.
fantasy
Eden and
bracket.
Jack and Aaron.
Ian Aaron.
You'll be featured on the
Oh,
next
wow.
Discard for Magic podcast, and Eden will make you an emoticon.
Yep.
Just interview them on how it feels to be right about your predictions.
Yeah.
Is that a 5-minute episode?
Exactly.
Just bring them in for their insight about everything now. Only on the community players, though. We need to know your thoughts on shreds. Go. 5 minutes.
5 minute
Break it down.
thoughts. You're gonna create some enemies that way.
Perfect. All right, let's
So,
see this.
This is what you were talking about, Beast. I think this is like one of the most even matchups there is. Just like a skill match, dice and skill matchup. Let's say it that way.
Yeah, for sure. And the skill, you're gonna see some
It's a big
roughness here.
I've got to spend
Yeah.
some time with Sand Golems. I love the deck when I play it. I just have not sat down with them, and they're so good.
So
Oh
off the
no!
bat, I
Ooh.
personally don't like this opening already. It's an overextension.
I
And
can.
you don't get a boost on Cylinder.
Yeah,
It just never feels right.
Wow.
that's unfortunate.
Champ, stop rolling like me.
2
for 7.
Yeah, Prophet gets the front gate spot, so
Which is
already.
nice. Yeah. I agree with you though. I think it's kind of a bait using that many resources to get the rider.
Yeah, like just you
So
could
how do
just
you
take a
approach
shot.
the Sand Goblins? Because, like, if you look at it, they
Hmm.
don't really have a range game. They kind of have to come at you eventually.
They do
Uh,
and they don't. It's more you have so much magic denial, let's say that way, St. Goblins, and also you have so much like, I just hit you like I was once talking to Prophet about how to approach the filth matchup, and he's literally like you just like the early game, all you do is just wrench one attack and then just put it back. Make them come to you,
Mm.
Like you
yeah,
don't even try to go for value. You just try to, make it so they get nothing, and slowly poke at them.
Hmm.
right.
But yeah, sorry to answer your question, Astro. I feel like uh,
So are you saying you would go to the Sand Goblins? You'd rush them?
if I was or
Shadow Elves?
Shadow Elves.
Yeah, sure. If you're Shadowers, yeah.
Oh, I actually haven't thought about that from that side of the matchup before. I would try to get early damage on Krusk if I was possible. Like try to go for value and then try to get early damage on Krusk. Just like
Hmm.
spitballing from my head, and then of course just chip at the gate because I think that's the most annoying thing for
Yeah.
Krusk is if the gate is like at 6 against Shadow Elves, it's like that weird state where it's like, do I blow it up? Do I not?
Mm, yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
try to get
I think
annoying.
the thing that Sand Goblins needs to watch out for here, honestly, is a stray a stray Ranger Knight play that gets 4 dice on Crust, because from there you're in the red. You're in
Yeah.
the red once you get hit by that. You're in the red.
Against Shadow Elves, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just a bunch of overextensions from Champ here. If we
Keep going.
Yeah, this I really do
Mm.
not like this.
The idea here is like this is like one of those things where if you're champ, you're thinking about purely about value, right? You're like, if I get the 3 on the
Mhm.
rider, then this is so worth it. Um,
Yeah.
but this is free. If you don't hit the 3 on 3, Celandar's getting hit here. I'm assuming. Oh, they got the 3 on 3.
Mhm.
3 for 3.
Yeah, three
That was
for three.
perfect
And
Yeah.
see,
timing.
this is what I mean. I
Well,
would never set up my turn like that. I just couldn't. I'd be like, there's no way it's happening.
and even this is a little bit risky by profit, but
Yeah, getting
goes
this lane
for it.
open. Mm,
Oh,
Yeah.
1 for 3 on the
whiff on this.
scoundrels.
Then again, he doesn't really have to do the wrench into the gate. Could
Mm,
just keep it there.
true.
See, like a Ranger and Knight play here would have
Ooh,
been.
Lucian. Okay.
Is Lucian good in this matchup though? I'm not sure. I think I'd rather just have commons as Shadow Elves.
Yeah, I'd rather have commons.
Because like, what are you
I
trying
mean,
to? Go on.
at free game, I'd rather have comments.
Yeah, Shadow Elves, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
can
this mage
only
bounce
maybe
here.
he is thinking about that. Like, you don't really want to approach into them. Maybe I'm going to be
Mm.
hanging back a little more. I can build up Lucian, who can be a threat if Rest Riders come at me.
Mm,
Could also help blow up any champions because you do have to think about Silts. Silts doesn't get played as much as I'd expect for a champion of her strength, but
Mm.
it is something you have to keep in your mind, I guess.
I think part of the reasons is that a lot of times you discard it as a Sand Goblins just through some random mechanic. Burn hot
True.
or
Yeah. So, are you a burn hot mortar player,
Mhm.
or are you a prophet? I will have all my Rentrats under my gate and get every ounce of economy I can from this deck and never burn anything.
I think it's very matchup dependent. Like against Tundra Orcs, you do want to get that free damage in, and I will spend a burn hot to get the damage off. Versus like against Shadow Elves, unless I'm getting like really good value on Celandar, I'm not going to go for it.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Whiff.
Get that damage though. On
The
Crest.
problem is, like you were saying, Beast. The problem is Salandar is right here, and just Shadow
Mm.
Elves love this. I'm sorry, Storm Goblins loves this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably could have went for the Rider play, but I guess, like you were saying, Astro, this is very profit. Very slow and steady, going for the good
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've watched a lot of his games. I think it was when the Fungal Dwarves were really meta and he was doing these Sand Golems against Fungal Dwarves where I was very impressed with how slow and methodical and he played back and slowly chip away at the call deck forces and kill those beasts.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Champ's aggression though. You don't get a lot of that with the Shadow Elves.
Yeah, pushing up so far. It's an interesting idea.
Why would you not move your knight to block that gate spot? Hmm.
I agree. I think that'd probably be GG. I agree.
Yep,
Nice scavenger
that's gonna
play.
get harder. Oh god, this is the profit. Watch this.
Okay.
Okay.
The profit special.
Oh,
The 3 for 3.
oh
And the
no!
miss. Yeah,
Oh
but still.
no!
That
It's kind of
hurts.
worth it on the night though. I don't think you would do that in any other,
Mm-hmm.
because
No.
you get the free damage on
Yeah.
the Celandar also. So it's kind of
Yeah.
worth the
Mm-hmm.
extra card.
Well, otherwise it's just king bounce back, and all that
Right.
effort was for nothing.
Good point. Good point. I mean, so far the Lucian is not doing as bad as I thought it would, to be honest.
Ah, she's a great champ. She's just in the shadow elves.
Where their commons are so good.
Yeah.
Do you block your gate there? I guess they don't want the gate to die.
I mean, it could go to
But
a
you
it
could
two
put
could
the
card.
still
Seeker
go.
Not
there.
likely, but
I agree. I think it's a
Yeah.
mistake because you could put the Seeker. Slits would not be able to be summoned here if you just want the Seeker 2.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
basically the same. Yeah, agreed. Slit's so good, like Astro said. Slit's probably top
She's so
10%
good.
of champions by far. So
Yeah.
good. And Prophet especially is really good at late game Slits, just doing all the shenanigans.
Yeah, and I think he's definitely one of the players who's able to really keep her alive until you can finagle her into that kill shot.
Mm-hmm.
5 health. So close. You just need to get in there.
Yeah.
All right, would you enter into the darkness thing? Getting it. I see. Just.
Mm-hmm. Nothing special.
Hit
Yep.
the gates.
I'm
Yep.
not sure if that's worth it though. Into the darknessing your own gate at 2. Maybe.
Okay, so pause here.
I'll pause it.
What would you guys do with a hand like Prophets?
Let me go back one.
Oh, okay. So he had a wrench and a rider, a thruster, a gate.
Okay, there
Spot like this.
1, 2. I mean, he could get a hit on Cylinder with the rider. You've already Was that the second Into Darkness that was played? Do you
That
remember?
was the second, yeah.
Okay.
So no.
The
So
first
getting
one
the
was to get the 10 gate up front.
To bring it up here. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Off the top of my head, I'd probably loop the rider around to get damage on Slender because we're probably going to be looking. We have only 5 cards left. We can't get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
mortar shots in, but could get him down to 3. And I mean, if you can then break the gate, you can scoot break the 5 health gate. You can scoot the other one over. You don't have a detonate. We haven't seen any detonates, have we? They're in the last 5 cards.
I don't think so.
No.
Don't think so. Yeah, you can
I
definitely.
would,
Go on.
yeah, I'd probably go for the damage on Cylinder.
Mhm.
That'd probably be my pick.
Yeah, I agree because you can't really get any scavenger. Can't really hit the ranger. It's not really much you can do. Probably hit
Okay.
the. We'll see. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Going for the Astro play.
Are you putting the thruster on? Krusk makes sense. Are they going for the double hit on the gate? No. Would you do that?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yep. Yep.
What? This is a nuts play. This
I
is a
like that.
crazy play.
I like that.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nuts play. Does they win off this?
Now,
To 5? Yeah, this is a
that
kill
was
opportunity.
entire. I don't know if I would have
I wouldn't have
planned
seen that,
that
yeah.
because I was relying on a gunner shot. Though I guess it's pretty safe because if you miss it, you can just leave everything. You don't
The
have to
Prophet
commit
3
to it.
for 3.
Boom.
Wow, what a
And
play by
there you go.
Prophet.
Yeah.
Just
No, I
that.
like that. Yeah, no, I like that because it wasn't an overcommittal. If you didn't get the kill, it wasn't like the gate was surrounded, so you wouldn't lose positioning or anything there.
Right.
Yeah, you still probably have a shot, and Cylindar is low. Can't really move to the backyard. Like, yeah, the gate's
Yeah, and you've
here.
blocked him in, so unless he's got some sort of glinting thing to try to run away, even if all that fails, you've still got him penned in. That's going to be a lot of resources he has to spend to get out.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
he
really
still
good
had the
play.
mortar shot. Or no, he used the mortar shot.
Because, like you said, if he is alive, Krusk is safe because it's over here. Unless you do some glinting
Mm-hmm.
speed play, go for like a 7-on-5, which might work. Um, or 5
You
on
could
7.
probably do a Knight on Cylinder.
Oh, true. So
Oh no, but the gate moves. Well,
Yeah.
does the gate move forward? I don't think so. No, gate stays there. Doesn't thrust her
Oh, if
around.
like this whole thing whiffed, you're probably dead.
Yeah,
yeah,
He's
you're
at 7
dead.
magic.
yeah, yeah.
What were the odds
Yeah.
of that? I guess it was the. I mean, you're behind. He's at 7 magic. You're at 5 cards. It's definitely worth going for, and I think it was probably like an 80%. What was it?
Yeah. And Prophet had a redundancy gunner too
True.
to go for the
Afterwards.
gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good play.
I
Nice
like that.
game by both players.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What else? Is there any other wins? No one's winning or losing. We can watch.
I still,
Go on.
it just came up. How are you people done these games?
I think people probably they take the
These
day
supposed
off.
to be secret. Yeah. Do you see a tournament coming up? You take the first day off so you can knock out all your games on the Monday
Good
or
Lord.
Tuesday that they print.
Nope. Forget that. Forget that.
I will say I do appreciate when they end early, mostly if I win. But then you're not worried over the weekend and having to spend the weekend thinking about it and wrap it up. So it is nicer when they're done early. I just they post and I'm not seeing my game until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Uh, yeah, but imagine fighting against Shibata though. You're never gonna be done early. It's-
Some say Chibata's still playing that tournament to this day.
yeah. So
That's true. It's time I'm out. I'm a fan of, fighting with the timer. If I'm going to lose on time because people weaponize against me, I'm willing to weaponize against other people.
yeah, sometimes I game it if I know that my opponent responds at a certain time. Like I try to make sure I take my turn at night or at
I
odd hours.
swear I had a opponent too. I won't name names. Actually, they're not watching. Vexer weaponizes the timer. I timed out at one of mine because I was just so busy and so I was trying to grab in games whenever I could. Every time I looked at my phone, I was down like 8 hours. Like, how is this possible? Is he just like waiting for me to take? Because my turns were happening at random hours of the day. There was no consistency to it. But he always seemed to like get his turn in right afterwards. Like,
Yeah, it's hard. I think look, ideally this would be played in real life, but I'm
They
happy
had
with the way it is.
what was it? The Game Con?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yeah,
you
Gen Con.
Gen Con?
Mhm. I
But
didn't go.
you didn't go. Nor
I
did
know a lot of
Beast.
people go.
Who went?
No.
Someone went.
Davood
Like
went.
Phosmonaut.
Beans?
Bean
Phosmonaut
went.
won
Oh,
that
Phosmo 8
one.
won. Yeah.
Cosmonaut one, yeah. Summoner Wars for life. Set up.
Sure.
That's
Oh
the way to do it.
well, has gone a few times. I know Ben goes. Usually Fuzzy goes. Yeah, a few people go.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be a good way to do it.
but yeah, no. It'll be look, it's not the best way possible right now, but it's the only way we can really accommodate, or the only way they can really accommodate people from the from Europe and Asia and
Oh
Australia
yeah.
and the U.S.
It's probably in my benefit that it's set up this way. I have no poker face. So
People would know
you'd be
you have
able
no
to tell
poker
when I had terrible draws and things like that immediately.
or when you're close to the win. Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, I'm setting up the win for you. I'd just be sitting there grinning maniacally. And just take your turn. Just go, Shred. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about this gate. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'll do 2 more games. What games are you guys thinking? Round 2, or is there any games you want to catch up on? Some games have gone pretty quickly.
Should we watch a Beast game? Where's
Of
his
course.
Faye?
Yeah.
You weren't here.
No.
I lost my Faye game today. I'm blaming you. Poor coaching.
Oh my gosh. A lot of Padawans in chat. No, my other Fae game is okay. Frodo Mir is a good player. But I think they played too much into Fae here. If you guys want to watch it, sure. But Breakers played up close is not.
That was
Yeah,
good.
that's not a good one.
Not recommended.
I had a creative win against Shivata. That's
Okay,
a
we can
cool
do
one.
that
Oh,
one.
okay, yeah. We'll watch that one.
That's a great
This
matchup
is the
also.
one that I had to message Joe about. I was like, "Hey Joe, I can't play finals. Can you give it to someone?"
After this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
I just ground
I was like,
Shibata
yeah.
into the dust.
Mm,
Do you just want to give it the win?
yeah. I was like, no, I'm not gonna take that L. I'm gonna beat you. Then I'm gonna message flat out games about it.
Ooh, shout out
Yeah.
for
So this is a
Kyle.
similar opening. This is a champ opening, but with mage boost and from a more defensive position. Then again, Justice is one space up, so.
So, are you looking at this matchup thinking High Elves are going to advance? I'm just going to sit back and farm boost.
So it's a weird one, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a what they do.
Mm.
Typically as Shadow Elves, you want to fight the midfield. If High Elves play the range game against you, you're SOL.
Mm-hmm.
Because against Peace and War, like your Shibata didn't really need to advance. He could probably just fight me from the fringes, but he decided to advance, so I had a bit of a game here. Like my
Okay.
seekers didn't need to overextend. I could have range units in the back for follow-up fire.
Yeah, because I was
Um,
going to say this is for me looking at it. This is definitely a matchup I'd expect them to just shoot at me, and it's like, ooh, I
mhm.
don't really
Yeah,
want to advance the
exactly.
Shadow Elves. I'd rather them go to base.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's I think that's the only weakness of Shadow Elves is that you're bad if you overextend. You kind of want to fight like row four.
Mm.
Yeah, fight the midfield basically. But a whiff here.
Whiffs are always bad against. I feel even
Interesting that
worse.
you'd attack with the knight first,
Hmm.
just because like you're going to be losing a damage on piece. So is it just that you
Hmm.
thought you'd get lower dice on the knight, and you?
I think I was probably thinking, oh, I'd get the 2 for 2. It's probably easier that way. I might be wrong on that, but
Mm.
maybe the converse attack order is actually the proper way to put it. But in my head, that seemed right.
I mean,
Feel free to check me
statistically
on that.
speaking, you're more likely to get better damage on the 3 range. I hate range. I do not trust them at all.
Oh, I got you.
For me.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it's 1.82 versus flat 2 expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's an interesting turn for me. So Tabata builds the 7, and I'm thinking, okay, what the heck
Titus?
do I do?
Are you thinking Titus?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I poke my head out. I need to pop that gate for sure because I can't
Mm.
afford a forward Titus right now.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so I
'cause
get what I want.
why else would you build that much magic as High Elves?
Yeah, exactly. I was grilling Tabata about it post game, and he says that he had a lot of comments to burn through and not a whole lot of disposable events. He was looking for gates and he was looking for
Oh, okay.
a bunch of things. So
See, if I get common flooded, I'll just slow roll them.
yeah, probably. But I think by this point, uh, Tabata's invested a bit too
Oh, okay.
much in the midfield. Yeah.
So this is like a chicken and egg question. Does Chibata play this way
Hmm.
because he's always low on time in his turns, or is it
No,
this time?
no. I burned a lot of time on that turn where he built to 7.
Okay,
I was low on time.
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
here, um, yeah, here I've
I
got a
like it.
free target and I can keep a conserved position.
Hmm.
All right, since you're a big Shadow Elf player, I'm curious, what is your viewpoint on Tome the 10 health gate?
Tome 10
Or
health.
into darkness the Tome health gate? Like using both either or both on your 10 health gate.
It's one of those. It's an option. Tome is just so flexible. If you're a heavy boost builder, like typically Vexor looks for turns that you could just move 2 mages and then do something funny. If you're a heavy boost builder, yeah, for sure. Tome on your 10 gate. It also depends on the position, but typically I save my tomes for either a unit or a glinting speed. It's just
Hmm.
that flexible, so you got your options.
Yeah, when I go into a matchup against Shadow Elves, I'm Actually happy to see them tome or Into Darkness the 10th gate, because that's them removing their assassination tools. So I will put pressure on the gate, bring it lower, and kind of like
Yeah.
bait it out, because I just don't want to see
Yeah.
them pulling anything else out. As a Shadow Elf player, as you said, like I'd much rather hold on to tome as a flexibility option, and
Yeah.
I don't like using it on my gate. I know a lot of people do, but it's not my preference. But if somebody is pressuring my gate and I lose it, I'll begrudgingly do it.
Right.
But I do, when I'm playing Shadow Elves, tend to lean a little more on like fighting econ until an opening shows up to assassinate.
Oh
Is
yeah,
my general
yeah.
game plan.
Well, speaking of openings to assassinate, there's none here because it's the second
Oh, we have it into
Sanctity's
darkness
first
on
turn.
the 10 out gate. How
No, no,
happy
no,
are
no,
you?
yeah. Sanctity's out. This is actually a mistake from me. I was telling Chibata about it. This overcommit, because there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing for
Mm,
me to hit. It's just Valeria in the midfield, and then
yeah,
there's that stray
and she has
priest out
sanctity.
there. So I
Yeah.
was thinking, okay, maybe I could trap Val here, force him into an awkward position, but I knew this reprisal was coming, so
Mm.
Yeah, it's
yep, like
tricky.
so.
And then you get,
Yeah. I
especially with
lost
Compass.
everything here. I actually had a tome, another Onyx tome in hand. I could have gotten a ranger back and into darkness my 10 gate to the side and poked Valeria with a ranger and
Mm.
Sullender instead of having these two things out in the middle.
Yeah, to feed. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah,
magic
so I
one.
lost material here.
That said, toming a ranger. Ugh.
But then this turn came up.
Hmm.
Okay. And here's what I'm interested in your
That's a cool
guys' response.
interaction. You get the boost there. Yeah, because you get to
Mm-hmm.
you choose the word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
painting
sick.
first.
Yeah.
So here is what I want to ask you guys. What would you guys do here in this turn
Let me pause it.
Oh, it's high elves?
as high elves? Yeah.
Let me go
Ooh,
So
I'm not a
knowing
high elf
that this
player.
is your hand,
Great question. He does have a
next
gate.
question, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
back.
it is. Yeah.
I am not a great high elf player. I'll readily admit that. I like the deck. I'm glad it exists. It's not one I've really explored.
Mm.
Um,
Knowing what you know about the deck,
hmm.
Astro, and where Valeria's at, both sanctities are gone.
Yeah, and she's at 7 health, so I'd probably be scared personally. 7 health is the kill range I always feel when I'm facing Shadow Elves. And that said,
Hmm.
like, I know Valeri getting up against Summoner. Oh, but then he's got 5 attack. He'll lose that trade. I would probably try to retreat. I mean, she's so far forward and already low.
Probably have to go
Hmm.
Justice here. Valeria gate in front of Cinder. This feels
You
bad
don't
though.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a great place to be.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I'd probably just do a retreat.
Yeah. Launcher.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So Chibata goes for the aggressive choice here.
I just. Oh well, no, that's kind of retreating.
Then you gate here.
Hates his
Yeah,
side.
can you
Yeah.
drop the gate thing?
Mhm.
I thought you meant he's going to like run Valeria up. I was like, ooh.
No, this is a fateful turn. Chibata's made his bed with this move. Just the fact that Valeria is still around for Shadow Elves to,
Hmm.
do
Yeah, but
something with,
yeah,
you're not that far away from
no. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
really
there's
bad.
no
there's
trouble.
no great retreat option, especially
Hmm.
without a. Well, there was a Liberty. Was there a way to like double move something in? I'd have to go back and analyze it.
That's a good question, but we could walk that back.
Mm. Now we can walk it back after we see the ending.
Hmm. Yeah, so just nothing too fancy here.
Are
So
you
I
a
put
high elf
that
player?
gate down. I am a high elf player.
Oh.
Mm-mm-mm.
What don't you play?
Told you guys. At this point, nothing anymore. But
Hey.
if there was one deck that I'm gonna be bad at, I'm telling you, Astro. To the contrary of our result, the new deck is gonna be the bane of me.
The
It's
flip.
because I just don't play that way.
I just don't play that way. It makes me so uncomfortable playing them. I know it's how you win with them. It's how you get into position and stuff like that, but I just don't play that way. So this one is the fancy.
Ooh, you got the double mage on the gate. Open it up.
Mm-hmm.
You got that boost built up.
This is very
Yep.
fancy.
Oh, watch all this burn up.
Take the mage away also.
Bounce
That's
the
sick.
knight.
Yep.
Bounce the knight.
Yeah.
Take the gate down.
Bounce
the mage.
Yeah, get the seeker. That's sick. Shadow elves things.
Yeah.
But
That's what I
don't
mean.
have another
7
thing.
health is the red zone. You can die too easily.
Yep.
Boop.
Yeah.
This is the point where I should have conceded, but
The
message
DM
Joe.
concede. I could have
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
So if we walk it back to that turn, you guys would see why that would have been all the difference. Retreating there is definitely the right call.
For Chibata, you mean?
Yeah, for Chibata, the one where he built a structure.
This one you're talking about.
no,
Yeah,
had he
that's
used
the
his
one.
obliged? I can't remember seeing any.
No,
Did he just not
both
draw any?
obliges are bottom deck. Yeah,
Right.
we
Yeah.
talked
Oof,
about
that's
it.
rough. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's tough. I probably would have looked for. He does have a Liberty play. Yeah, he could have gone to beside the Seeker, drop the gate in front of him, move the piece to the other side,
Mm.
and protected himself. So that's probably what I would have done.
hmm
The
other
I
way
can
is
see
to
hiding in the
back out.
corner, but yeah.
Yeah, the other way is to back out on the other side of the Seeker. So you move your Justice in front of the 3 gate, Valeria to in front of Peace, kill the Seeker with Dictate, and then park your Peace beside Valeria for a shot at Self, and then optional.
Yeah,
But you can
that's
probably
true.
do a gate in front of to the left of Valeria, where the Seeker is instead.
Yeah, if I were to do that, I'd
Let's see,
probably do
guys.
the gate to the left, move piece to the side, and take a
To the
shot at
right.
the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
move the piece to
then
the right.
Valeria on Peace, dictate the Justice back to Valeria's front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, I could see the
Something
argument
like
against
that.
that because you're leaving the gate to be destroyed by Solunder, so losing the piece. How many? He's got a piece in hand. Yeah,
That's true.
I could see the gate on the right. You've
Yeah,
convinced me.
that's
I'm
fair.
convinced.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Or just
But
slam the gate in front of the 10 health one because your front's still
true.
exposed.
Yeah, lose the piece, but I guess that's better than dying outright.
It's hard though.
Yeah.
It's like a. That's not.
Yeah, but as I said, I would have retreated. But
Yeah.
I'm a coward, so I would have been out of there so fast.
It's probably
Yeah.
the
So
turn before.
the Seeker, the turn before here was like just a very simple turn. It was just like a Seeker hitting a priest. That was it. I hit the Seeker. I hit the priest with a Seeker.
Oh yeah, that's true. The move
I hit
behind.
Val.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the poison piece basically. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you want to back out of this one?
That's a good point.
Yep.
I think even the turn before this, so probably turn 12, Chibata had to already start heading back a little bit.
Well, if I don't play this deck very much, but if I've got my Sanctity ending, I'm getting out of dodge. Like that would be way too far forward for me. I would have moved back on the other turn, but
plus I'm sufficiently devastated already by just these 2 economic losses. Losing this much material, that's
yeah. But I would also do the I think it was Prophet who popularized it. I just do the sit back and shoot from the get go with this deck.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like I would not have moved Valeria up that much.
Yep. There's no need.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. But I will readily admit, I'm not expert on this deck, so maybe there is an aggressive angle. I say this as a Wayfair mate. I generally don't play aggressive unless it's like the Wayfarers. But
yeah, I still remember that Fist game with the Chosen Grove. You parking your you
every
parking
angle I tried
left.
getting in, my dice were just like, no, it's not. You are not getting in here.
Yeah.
So that was so frustrating because Fisk had that Summer. What's it called?
Yeah, Vigor.
Is it just called Summer? Summer's Vigor?
Yeah, Vigor of
When
Summer.
I
Yeah.
went in with Celeste, because I went in, I was just like, if I do this, as long as he doesn't have Summer, I've probably got the
Mm.
game here. And then immediately he drops Summer. It's like, damn it. Because once I dropped
Yeah.
5 health, it's like I have to play far more defensive. Where I thought I'd get 2 turns with Celeste
Mm.
hitting the tree, and then I'd have the buried
Mhm.
gate, which I would then be able to summon off of and reinforce. And it's like, if as long as Celeste can get a second shot on this stupid tree, I should be golden. And then he got the Summer and he got the rolls. Like, oh,
Oof. Yeah.
um,
Yep. I think 9 dice on you or something like that.
yeah. Well, yeah, because I looked at it, it's like he can get a decent amount of dice, but you know, being at 7 health, 7-6 health is fine. Down to 5 health.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. That's like a summer to summon a summer and a bear, and then I'm gone. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
made things
That's
way
true.
more awkward. And then I could not get the fabled Vexer 5 for 6 on Celeste on my targets afterwards. I don't drag it, but I still can't get over that bed video where she's just like, yeah, against polar doors, just go 5 for 6 against the golems.
That's true.
Easy. Easy.
That's true. Surely.
Yeah.
Fiddleford is actually also very much improved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I hate that. You're the one that made me realize, oh, this matchup sucks.
Oh
I still
yeah,
think about
from
that
way
game
back.
because I should have gone in with Celeste. I thought I had the checkmate, and I set it up.
Uh,
I'm like, you know what? I'll kill Yarman. He'll be behind on Econ. I'm in good position. The only thing is, he would be able to do is to like what ramming advance. What's the chance he has the pieces?
yeah.
And then you advance my board, stay like,
And
damn
then
it.
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess the chances are really high. Yeah. So that
So
was
this
the one
one
with
is
the.
an interesting
The best.
this one
Vexor.
is an interesting opener from Vexer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Try,
you guys can.
trying to get as many boosts as possible. Looks like.
From the
Hmm.
opener to Bound Seeker and
I,
Ranger.
I I learned my Shadow Elves by watching Vexer, so he does play in a style that I
hmm
emulate quite heavily. Get all the boosts off that guy, yeah.
So much
All
Yep.
of
boost.
them.
So
Yeah.
much boost.
Boost for days. I
Yeah.
do like
Boost.
playing this match at Shadow Elves.
Oh, just to get the secret back also.
Bye.
Yep.
Yep.
So last time these two played, at least which was like in a tournament, it was this matchup but reversed, where Prophet was playing the Shadow Elves and Vexer was playing the High Elves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was during
Mm.
Tortugatron tournament, I think.
All right, Beast, while you're here, the
Ah,
best decks, your tier list. What would be your like top 5? If I had to choose the best decks to go into a tournament, what would your recommendation be?
top 5. Well, I'm exactly a student in your school of play Astra, so I'd definitely say decks like I really would have thought you would have played High Elves by now, and that they'd be your thing.
I do like them. I just haven't found the time. They're like sand golems. I like them when I play them, but I'm just like, oh, there's a lot of time commitment put
Yeah.
into learning this.
Um, there's them. Sand Goblins is also a flexible one.
Mm,
I think if we're going strictly by competitiveness, I'd say go for consistent. And consistent is just, repeatable wins and just repeatable strategy. So
right.
Sand Goblins, Shadow Elves, not a whole lot you can do to stop them from doing their thing. Savannah Elves is also a pretty solitary or solitaire-y faction.
Hmm.
They kind of do their thing and they don't care if you do or don't. They also like it if you try to stop them. Um, Savannah Elves Cloak is annoying. Uh,
Even with a nerf, I agree.
yeah,
I
even with a
uh
nerf.
I defend the cloaks too much in Discord for me to feel comfortable
I don't know why.
repping them. I
For the
feel like I would
life
have
of me,
like
Astro. What's
what's
wrong
that?
with you? I don't know why. For the life of me, why? Just why?
I know Lil and El Canal will like come after me if I were to play the cloaks. They'd just be like, "Oh, you just don't want to nerf your favorite faction." Da, 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 da."
Yeah, exactly. Just why?
I really like the cloaks in 1E. I picked them up. I really enjoyed them in 1E. In 2E, I mean, it's probably still saved in the Discord. Could not figure them out for the life of me. I think I had to like pester Jexic in order to get some insight and everything. And then eventually they clicked, and I really liked them. And then like there was such a heavy like turn against them. I was just like, well, I'm a bit
Oh
like that,
yeah.
where it's like if everybody hates it, just like, well, or if everybody's going on, but I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing it. So I've also tried to like break that. So I tried to get into frogs when at the apex of frog hate, but I'm
Yeah.
just so slow.
Yeah.
But
Frogs. Yeah. Frogs is too easy.
I do like the cloaks. They are my style.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm trying to demonstrate that other things can be successful. Well, clearly not. I failed out. But the goal was to demonstrate like the Fae are still good. Like pick the Fae if you want.
I don't know about that one. They do all right, but even at my best, I struggle. That's the thing with them.
Shiraz versus Quiet.
So
Huh?
Is that a
I don't
match?
know.
Eden's recommending it in chat.
Oh, I haven't said anything.
Uh,
No, you're good.
Oh, he's just calling you out for being silent.
No,
yeah, no, sorry, we're commandeering the stream,
Yeah.
no
Eden.
worries, no worries.
No, that's
Yeah, this is the beast in Astro. No, sorry.
yeah.
Same question you to Shiraz. What would your tops be?
Your top. Yeah.
5.
I'll give a little
If you were to
context.
do it over again,
Yeah, I'll give a
Was it
little
4?
context. I recognized my picks are a little cave goblin vulnerable, and given how popular they are, I'm looking for a deck to swap in. So I'm looking for 1 of 5.
ooh,
Um, yeah, I think so. You're talking about like if I was an expert at every deck, or if I was just like
Yeah,
for me myself.
yeah. If
So
you're an expert on every deck, and just like, oh, I'm gonna take 5 decks into a tournament. These are the ones I would pick.
all right, if I had infinite like brain capacity and I wasn't getting burnt out due to these factions being like crazy amount of options, um, definitely Shadow Elves. I think everyone agrees on
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
mhm,
I would say Swamp Orcs. I think is to be honest up there.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
ooh.
I'd say Cloaks definitely.
mhm.
Uh, so I have 2 more. Um, I guess Savannah Elves, but I'm kind of on the border with that, so I'll keep that out of it.
Mm,
Sand Goblins, I think, would be my 4th, and then Savannah Elves
yeah.
probably. Because Sand Goblins do have some bad, like Sand Goblins bad matchups are like not top tier factions, like Fallen Kingdoms versus Sand Goblins. That's a
Yeah.
hard
Right.
matchup, but not that many
Swamp
people.
works too.
Yeah, Swamp Orcs also, but they're not like as prevalent. I feel like in the last few groups, so I would
Mm.
take the risk with
Hmm.
Sand Goblins. So in
That's
terms of
interesting.
versatility, I'd probably do yeah, Shadow Elves, Swamp Orcs, Sand Goblins, and Cloaks would be my 4.
Okay. Well, thank you all for not saying Obsidian Dwarves.
No, definitely not. I'll do Obsidian Dwarves if I was like in a group of people who I'm much worse than. If I
The key as I understand is to trust the dice, and if there's one thing with me is I have zero trust in the dice. They are not my deck. All right. I love the filth. So if anybody wants to like counterpick me, I don't know why you'd want to counterpick me. I love the filth. I'm probably going to take the filth for every tournament going forward.
And
Um,
they're strong, so
Yeah.
yeah, they're
I wouldn't say
stronger
they're
than I was
actually they are
expecting.
strong. Really?
I thought
Even
they would
from
be
playtesting?
I thought they'd be a little more middle of the road. So I
Interesting.
mean, 58% isn't setting off
Yeah.
alarm bells really, but I thought they'd be
Right.
a little lower. But yeah,
Mm.
no, they're overperforming my expectation. But I don't. I
Mm.
love the deck, so I'd play it every time, even if I lost every time.
Hmm.
How about
Curious.
you, Beast? What would you or you already said, right?
Kind of, yeah. I did say Shadow Elves and Goblins, Savannah Elves up there.
Hmm.
Um, Did I say a fourth? I mean, Crimson Order is a good one. That's kind of just they're a little bit more technical. But then, if we really want to talk technical,
Hmm.
probably going to be Swamp Works. I think people sleep on Swamp Works too much. But then they're people like their egregious matchups. Like you could do well with them again as Cave Goblins.
Mm.
You could do well with them as some of the other swarmy factions too. Um, yeah, but there's a lot of skill expression as Swamp Works, I
I
believe.
still
Like,
maintain they're one of the hardest decks to pilot.
yeah, and you have to understand, like, if any of you folks watching the stream watched, honestly, watch Astro play, watch Aaron play Swampworks, watch the top players play Swampworks. You can really
The Wells
see
and whatnot. Yeah.
how crazy you can, yeah, how crazy you can do some Vinemancer pulls into defensive positions and just odd things that are possible, but you didn't really think about it.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fun one, but they are a bit of a brain burner.
Yeah.
So, and I hate the Cave Goblin matchup.
No, Vine
Honestly, I
Mancer
hate the Sand Goblin matchup too.
as
Like
Swamp
I
Works.
Yeah.
think Swamparks can do well against them, but man, it always feels bad. So this is my biggest problem with the Swampworks. The reason why I don't bring them much anymore to tournaments is I always feel claustrophobic when I play Swampworks. I feel like I get cooped up in the back line and I don't really have any good targets to hit because they can just play the range game against me and I have to walk up.
Hmm.
It's for some reason that doesn't happen to you guys, so.
Oh, it happened to me in a recent game where I summoned a witch and moved her to the wrong side of a gate, and then that just haunted me for the rest of the game. It's just like, why is this witch so far out of position? I need her over two spaces,
Far,
and
yeah.
I've got 3 units in the way. It's just, yeah, no, yeah, it does happen. Yeah, Swamp Orcs was the one I was thinking of replacing. I do still believe they're a top performing deck, but if I'm going into the next tournament, I kind of just want something a little breezier to play, and I don't need
Yeah.
or 3 out of 4 of my decks just weak to Cave Goblins if I'm going to end up with all the Cave Goblin players.
Mm. This is a sick
If
play.
Fish is coming for me, I want to make sure I'm going to at least be able to put up a fight. Or Jackstick. Or Beans. Or
G-Man.
or all those gremlins.
I wish there was like ideally like if there's more players, more I would love this to be like a top, like an ESPN top 5 sports plays of the week. Same thing for Summoner Wars, where in the middle of a tournament, and one of the cool turns is this Davood versus Doctor Doom. The game's not over yet, but I was
let's
like
yeah,
so
let's see it.
cool. The play after this by Davood.
Gate on second row. Always like to see it.
Doctor Doom, yeah. So I guess the 2-for-2s
Gate
and this
on
is
second
the
row.
Knights are so good in this matchup.
this is a sick play
Yeah,
by
that's
Davood
just
right
so
here.
good.
I used to be a Eternal Council player
Mhm.
because I just love the idea of a faction of grannies. And one of the matchups I really
Shit,
enjoyed playing
grannies.
was against the Fallen Kingdom because they've got such good events. Like if you can
To get
steal
rid of.
Pyre,
Oh yeah, true. Afterwards.
you're just
Oh yeah.
you're laughing because they're looking so hard to get like a big burst turn against you, and you can just counter it with a Pyre steal that you persist for half the game.
So this is a sick play by Davood. They basically use the knight to discard a carrier and then summon the carrier
A
back when they
carrier.
kill it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Sick.
nice. I like it.
And then Doctor Doom has a nice play after this, just preemptively using a psychic assault. It's
Yeah,
getting good
there's
value.
a couple of factions. The Fungal Doors were another one that they weren't hurt as much by discarding because you walk up, you discard the Spore Carrier, and then just bring her back.
Afterwards.
Yeah, but it is still one magic that they're losing out on.
True.
Gates on second row means that Doctor Doom is committing to a range game.
Yep.
Yep, afterwards. Which is
But
decent
I mean,
versus FK. But FK usually just push
Yeah.
up then.
yeah, FK has such terrible range game. Yeah, force them to come to you.
Archers are so
Oh
good.
boy.
Yeah.
I would still be annoyed here if Fallen Kingdom does like a one of cultist on the side and just pokes at my gate. I'd be annoyed as hell. I what do you do? What do you do? Do you commit against that? If you commit against that, you're gonna get something. You're gonna get
Yeah.
Courier. You're gonna get.
This gate was interesting by Dr. Doom. I'd put
Yeah,
it at
because
one.
you don't want to do a sage for a cultist. That is just ugh. And do you really want to lose this? What's the other one called? Advisor?
Scholar? Oh, advisor. Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry,
No.
Scholar. Yeah. The two 3/2 ranged one. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I mean they're so good. They're good for positioning. Like you don't want to just throw them away willy nilly. Two ranged, yeah, sucks. But you do need to be able to shift a D around. Yeah, that'd be annoying. And then if you whiff, if that cultist
Yeah.
beats your advisor,
Mhm.
All right. Is there any other games you guys want to watch? Otherwise, I think it was a fun stream.
Do we have a good closer?
Good
I'll leave
closer
this to
game.
you, Astra.
oh,
Or actually, I'll leave this to you, Chairs.
yeah,
Well,
I'll leave
whichever
this
you
to
guys
Chris as
think.
well. You're the host. Also, I haven't
Yeah,
been
you're
able
the
to
host.
watch the games yet.
What's a good closer game we've seen?
We can do. There's a sick last turn DQI did versus me, though I kind of messed it up. But I liked his last turn. You can see how
Oh, what
DQI.
happened to DQI? He's such a good player.
Yep.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
He just, to be honest, I think his factions are just trash.
Yeah.
SF.
Drag him.
He has a
Sava-
SH, SE, good,
Okay.
SF, and then
Yeah.
CH and SF. I'm not sure if he can make last round with those two factions.
Okay.
You watch your mouth.
Hey, what last tournament somebody got to the finals with SF?
True.
You never know. You never know.
Last round, I'm not sure how no one in the finals had frogs. That was the most you could have won a lot of money off that if there was like an over under
Oh, this
frogs
one's-
in finals.
Maybe
This one is an
maybe
interesting
Sir
one.
Handsome's right. They don't need to be nerfed. Bring back the frogs.
You can flame me on my play
This is
Ooh.
literally how I lost my game against
What?
Sir.
I could never.
This is
What?
literally.
here. I got wrecked this round.
I would never.
This is what I was just kind of
Imagine.
like. I looked at my turn afterwards, like, yeah, that wasn't the smartest over.
I just got wrecked. Yep.
Yep. That's
Like there's
history
a...
repeating itself. There it is. Now he had a true seeker, so he was able to get me down to 7 from that. But yeah.
This one I was proud of
nice knowing
myself.
you, Chairs.
I like this play. This one I'm proud of myself for this play.
I think this isn't as bad of a matchup as I made it look like in my finals. But I do think you need to be a little more cautious. I feel like the nice thing about Shadow Elves is they're likely to let you build up your swamp. So taking a couple of early turns to just get units down, start getting boost generating, and then getting a witch to 1 boost, so it can be a threat is going to help you.
Oh, that was an Astro play.
I
I was just like, oh yeah. Technically speaking, that Vine Mancer thing is possible. You just didn't think of it, or yeah, it's one of those. It's like when you watch other people do it, it's like, oh no, duh, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that Vine Mancer play took me a little bit to think of. Vine Mancers are so good.
I do like to do that, yeah. I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about?
So my idea here was I didn't have the burst to kill the gate, and I didn't want to get to 5 because I didn't want him just getting rid of it and just shooting me in the face. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep this gate alive and just pick at things.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, just getting that witch down, being able to like build up so you can just blow up that gate. Because once, in my belief, if you can get Shadow Elves wasting the resources on the 10 health gate, you're getting ahead.
Agreed. Ideally, I'd have a gate here instead of the Bog Shaman. I'm not trying to place afterwards.
Is this the glinting speed play?
No, he just goes for the value.
That's interesting.
But glinting speed player would be also.
Spooky. I guess there is no swamp around Muglug here, so you could do this.
I'd love to ask Massimo about these 2 gates because I think these gates are terrible, but it works out for him.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's a very weird.
Especially as Shadow Elves. I think his idea was this gate went first, the back row gate, and the idea was
Yeah.
I'm gonna push up on him, and he wants me not to burst one of his gates, so he has a place to summon.
Yeah, I think it was he committed to that back one. And I was like, oh well, guess it'll just be weird. I do
Ooh.
appreciate the aggression though. I like it. It's bold.
I need to play more Swamp Works. That's why I learned this tournament.
they
One
they are very
damage.
hard. They are very hard.
Yeah, he gets very unlucky there. Gets the 1 damage, and then
Glint.
I
I see.
mean,
Glint's out
that's
there.
just what I expect from range dice.
So
I
this
actually
play,
forgot how this one went. I watched this game.
Oh, okay.
I think everything. I'm completely happy, especially with the 1 damage here. Here, I think
Yeah.
and I purposely make sure I don't do. I get this to 6 max. I don't want it to
Yep.
to get rid of it next
Yeah.
turn. I think the
And
play
then tip
after
it around the
this, I
first
just
guy.
got too greedy. I forgot the kill threshold of Shadow Elves, just like especially when they damage one of your gates.
Oh yeah.
Into darkness. Yeah.
Into darkness. Also the
Secret behind mug. Okay. The 3 for 3.
yeah,
Man,
tragic.
hate it when that happens.
I will say I find it a little tilting when my opponent goes 3 for 3 on range. One time, okay, you got
What?
lucky. Multiple times, like,
Mm,
So at this point, I'm just like, I think these 2 gates are terrible. I'm gonna get rid of this gate. I must be in such a good position because against any other faction, if I do this play, I'm just so happy. Like these 2 gates, he
Mm.
only has 1 summoning spot. Selendar's in a weird position. He has basically no units. I'm doing fine. I have Blurb out. Mugleg at 8, and then I just get Shadow Elved. But great play by Massinger. I'm not gonna try to. This is the cool things Shadow Elves can do.
Yeah.
Such a cool play. But yeah, I got wrecked this round. Like, look at that. I think I'm safe here. Nope, not at all.
You have Shadow Pulse to follow up because 8 is a little steep.
Yep, he had Shadow Pulse also. He didn't need to use it because he gets the 2 for
Oh,
7.
2. Yeah.
But yeah, Shadow
Yeah.
Pulse also. I just didn't
Yeah.
think 8 was enough, but against Shadow Elves, you gotta
Yeah. You gotta
think
keep.
about it.
You gotta stay up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 10 would probably be fine, but yeah.
Yeah.
8 too much.
The lessons we learn.
Exactly. A fun game.
The lessons
Fun
we
game.
learn.
But yeah, guys. I can show you my almost
GG.
win against Oliver. I can show you my tragedy.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the.
Yeah. If you got time.
I love watching games because they're so less stressful.
Exactly, yeah. This is a fun game. I think. So this is the game. In the middle of it, I realized I had no chance of making it to the next round, so I kind of played a little more loose. But
That
it's
attitude.
still
Yeah. No.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Next
After I
round.
lost to Fish, it's just kind of like, well, these games don't matter. Now my last main one's like, whatever.
It's like the first thing that come to mind games. I'm trying to
Yeah,
not take it
Yeah.
too seriously, but at the same time,
Yeah.
not to disparage his loss. So this one, the unfortunate of having 3 slingers in my starting hand against. So I was like, do I discard them or not? Because at the same time, slingers are one of your best units, especially in this matchup. But you need to keep them safe, right? Because you don't want them to get carried.
Yeah.
Opening, I think, was completely fine. But this is a
I
good
would
look.
probably be greedy if I got both kills. I'd probably hold on to them. Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Hold on to all 3.
That's good. Not a Go player, but that'd be my feeling.
Yeah, that was my idea also.
Yep. The Econ FK play.
Yep.
One shot done.
I would have summoned one there though.
Someone here try to go for the archer, you think, or what would we?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just try to. I mean, yeah,
Clear
you're
hand.
opening up to the carrier infect, but I just don't want to have 3 slingers sitting in my hand at this point.
That's a good point. Definitely something I can learn from. Because here I'm like, what do? I don't want to throw them all away. I think I throw 1 away. Yeah, I do throw 1 away.
If it wasn't going for the shot on the archer, you could have moved it over and attacked the gate a bit more.
That's a good point. Just get 3 attacks, 3 good attacks on the.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that play a lot because then also yeah. The idea was getting the gate spot, but I can definitely see your idea also.
So Olivia is just low rolling cards here.
Yeah, Olivier does this with I've only played as Fallen Kingdoms, but he loves just slow rolling, trying to get as much value as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And here I was like, I'm just getting rid of this gate. Getting slow rolling the gate.
I had a streak when I was learning the Fallen Kingdom, where I was winning every game in public queue, but it's the same thing. It's doing the same thing. You slow roll, and then you just explode when necessary.
I had a great winning streak when I was first learning Fallen Kingdom. I think I went like 14-1. It's like, oh, I'm really good with this faction.
Ooh.
Took me to a tournament. Blech. Got rolled. It was the Savannah Elves, and they just shot me to pieces out of range. I couldn't go
Oh
close.
yeah.
And
Yep,
this was
that sounds
before
right.
like any of the secret forbidden tech was discovered with like what you can do with the blood summons and the purge nonsense and things like
Oh,
that. Haven't played them since.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I kind of like the combo aspect to them. There's not a lot of decks that are quite as combo-y. Maybe Eternal Council. So
I
maybe
think
I
this
should
was a
take a look.
mistake for me.
Marshall.
I think this was a mistake, yeah. Especially with carrier.
Maybe,
Mm,
maybe.
yeah.
If they have another carrier and discard, maybe. But
Yeah. I think they purge or something to
least
get rid of the carrier.
Mm,
Because then they get the gate spot.
yeah.
Or maybe they don't purge. Okay. Oh yeah, they do purge to get
merge,
a.
yeah, I see.
Yeah. That was a
Swing,
mistake for
swing,
me.
and a swing on Thundervid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good whiff. Trust in the whiff.
Trust in the road. If the or if the slinger was at 2 health, maybe I'd trust more. But yeah, I think that was one of the mistakes which I made this round was getting too focused on the gate.
Yeah.
Because after this point, it's really hard for me to even if they do a back gate, it's really hard for me to even get there.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
second
and
go on.
I think like going back to the three slingers, I probably would have thrown one of the slingers looking at how the match goes now. I mean, hindsight's 50-50 and all that, but
Why did
if
I use? Oh, because the martial forces. I see. I'm stupid. Sometimes you think about the plays you did. You're like, why did I do this? Yeah, this was a bad play.
oh
Really.
yeah, that's the one thing I hate about going back and watching my games. Like, what was I on? Like, was this a midnight play? Was I just about to go to sleep? What was I thinking here?
That martial.
Um,
Yeah, go on.
but
Sorry.
yeah, with slingers because they're such a threat for the uh, carriers, I might have pitched one,
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, back then.
but
Ooh, another hit on Thundervid here for the Archer.
Yeah, with the archer.
yeah, I guess for the two of you, what are you looking for in this matchup? Are you looking to get an assassination on red, or are you just looking for trade because their commons are weaker?
So I
It's
think.
hard to trade with Ret as Mountain Vargath.
Yeah.
Roots probably, but
I'd
boy,
give.
it's
Mm,
no. Keep going.
I'd give you a different example if this wasn't tournament Fallen
Hmm.
Kingdoms.
Mm,
I'd say just keep a nice tight formation. Don't get Sundervet too low. Don't get him into blood summon
mm,
range, and you win.
yeah.
I'm not so sure because in this matchup, especially, you can see with Oliver, he has 6 magic. He's gonna summon
Yeah, building up the Goldas.
Gul'das, and Gul'das,
Yeah.
like,
Mm,
I think I do the best job you can in terms of trying to take care of it. But at the same time, I'm like
mm.
wondering if I should just ignore. I think this, to be honest, this champion's broken at 10 health, like
Oh
absolutely broken.
yeah.
Because I think I kill it in 2 rounds, but it still gets like 3 cards or something. Uh,
Yeah.
He gets super unlucky here with getting the collar. Here, I like this play,
Ooh.
but the second
Oh, but
mistake
you
is about to
didn't
come
have
out.
enough magic to.
Yeah, I was thinking because if I had enough magic for another fighter, I could do probably get a kill there.
Yeah,
But sadly, no.
but getting him down and so he has to respond.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, Goldas, I don't expect to keep this this boost.
Because I think it's still like 2 more rounds after this it stays alive. Because like I hit it for 5, but still at 5. I don't know. It's just really strong.
Yeah.
I'd much rather. I was talking to Eden. He was asking about this. I would much rather it stay at 8 and then, or maybe it goes down to 7 and then just be 5 cost. But I know they love the 666 meme for.
Hmm. I could see a world where maybe he could have one more health. But at
Yeah,
the
one
end of the
more.
day, I don't think Fallen Kingdom really need a buff. So
Agreed. I think Fallen Kingdom is in a good place.
yeah, I think they're fine.
I could see Ret +1 health, but outside of that, I don't think they need much.
Yeah. I think with the way that they've clarified how Blood Summon works and Purge works, that they've got enough tricks for the high level for them still remain competitive, and that all the other stuff is just kind of, just Joe trying things. Streaming for 9 more hours. Yeah, her God, we're here forever.
So this turn
You're
I make a
never leaving.
mistake where I keep Varn here when I should have bring him back with this. So I need a stronghold here because if there's a blood summon, I can get a shield here with Gul'das because if he has blood summon, he can hit me with an archer and a 6 or 7.
Yeah, you could have brought Varn back. Yeah.
Exactly. So Varn should have been here. And then potentially he uses resources to get it. But the idea was more for me, I want Fallen Kingdoms because they have no mobility. Like the more things in their back row, the better. But it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Oh boy, and an effect on Goldas. That's funny.
I guess the carrier out.
That is funny.
But yeah, Varn doesn't do much after this point. And then there's another.
Yeah.
I think I also get greedy here somewhere again. So multiple mistakes, let's say that way. Multiple things I can work on.
Yeah, fighting against a board full of commons as against Fallen Kingdom is always spooky.
Yeah.
There's always some big blood summon bullshit they could pull off.
Agreed. I think I also underestimate probably Quinn is really good in this matchup. Just because carriers are.
I think so.
Probably get a lot of value off Quinn. So yeah, Varn didn't do shit.
Play the range game.
Yep, exactly. Varn should have been, back here safely, behind the screen.
Yeah.
I think the nice thing with Quinn is, like, even though you're not likely, well, you will get the odd shot where you just get, 3 bonus squiggles and destroy the carriers beside them. But even if they're still healing the ones that you sort of ping off, at least it's eating up their attacks. So they're not hitting other things. Oh
boy.
I miss some cultists.
I see that. Yeah, more carrier food.
So his
Warrior in front of your gate? No.
Yeah,
carriers. I see. Yep.
This is very Oliver. Like, I'd never see Davu do a play like this. Like, Oliver loves the eco Fallen Kingdoms, He will use blood summons just to kill your commons, He'll use he uses a lot of what are these things? Hellforge weapon just to get a nice carrier, afterwards. And it's not bad. It's just interesting. It's just a different way of dealing with things.
Eco, cause why not? I do it with Shadow from CFA. So you can do it too, kids.
Yeah, was it your game I linked in the Discord where you just like sat back and like econned it and almost won?
Chibata? Yeah, it was a Polar Dwarves game.
Yeah, I was blown away. I'd never seen that before. Maybe you picked up somebody else. I had not seen it before. I was very impressed. I thought that was great.
That's all right.
It was so close.
I don't know that it was close. I still think Chibata had that game on lock, but it does look convincing when Shimmer CFA is sitting on a pretty bang. And
I think it came down. Well, I'm trying to remember now, but I think it came, like, from what I could see, it came down to a couple like bat rules, which is sometimes the best you can hope for, especially in. I would not think that's a matchup that favors Faye in the least.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's a tough one.
Nice play by Oliver here. It's getting some clearing the board and getting some damage on Sunderven.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Those archers doing a lot of work. He's doing a lot of acrobatics for these archers.
Agreed. Getting that Fallen Kingdoms econ.
How many times did all... Oh, I see. It's a pyre. That's the second one. I was wondering where the second one was.
Yeah, he just used it now. The first one wasn't too effective. I think he only got 2 or 3 off.
Yeah, it was for 3.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice.
The second one was more so a good one. Use it. Yeah, trying to use pyre always with either purge or blood summon. Good tip. All right, here I'm like, all right, I'm fucked, but I gotta go for it. I have like a good combo hand, I have I think I have 2 fighters and a collar, and I'm like, all right, just gotta go for it, Just gotta go for some crazy You know, some bean play where I'm just doing some crazy shit.
How'd that work out?
You'll see. You'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. Tragedy. 2 for 3s. This is like Fallen Kingdoms versus Fungal Dwarves. You know, you go 2 for 2s versus 2 for 3 or 3 for 3s, right? Who gets the most?
Yeah, who's going to win the dice roll or the coin flip? Yeah.
Swing, swing, swing.
I guess
Yep.
I think they whiff on this, which is nice. So I actually have a chance here. I'm like,
Alright.
okay, I got the chance. Got a chance. So now I'm like, I'm praying Oliver doesn't know the tricks. Oop. So I got to go for my tricks. I got to go for the tricks. You know Does he notice this? Does he think about what's gonna happen? Okay, setting up for the big turn. Hopefully.
Oh!
Does he notice?
It's not a kill shot, but yeah.
Yeah, it's setting up for the kill shot. Hopefully, setting it up, and then he does everything which I want to. He's like, I think he's trying to be maybe he's thinking I have another collar or something like that. Who knows? Trying to go for some play. Summons the warrior instead of the carrier there.
Oh, I see gate here.
Exactly. And I'm like, I was so excited. I'm like, I got this. He did. He fell into
Dice failed you?
Yeah, the dice just messed me up.
Yeah.
But the dice did me justice.
Yeah.
Beautiful idea, though.
Damn.
Yeah.
Trying to go for the
Story goes.
That would have been so good.
But then the
Story
dice tell me
goes.
anyways out of
Oh
whiffed.
my
Like,
goodness,
out of
you were
whiffed.
not winning that. No, holy moly.
Dice were not with me that time. But
No, yeah,
anyways, this game's over.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would not have, because I would not have seen that. I know some of the tricks you could do with fighters, but if I was in that position, I would not have been thinking that.
Okay, yeah.
That was really good. I like it.
Thank you. Try to make Bean proud, but dice would not let me make Bean proud.
The dice also did not cooperate on that being profit game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. All right, thanks so much, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's we can reconvene once more games are played, maybe in a day
Once
or two.
more games are played. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'm
All
happy
right.
to make some of these top players.
Sounds good. Yeah, and hopefully we can. No, we definitely will get some prize money for whoever gets the most predictions right for next round.
Ooh, prize money, you say?
We'll find something for you. I'll go through my old sock drawer.
Eden says he'll
Beast
find
will search around the cushions of his couch. We'll get you. We'll get something for something.
Yeah. Got you covered. Yep.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
Have a good
Peace
one.
out, y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.